Fuck it, we're doing it live. Fuck it,
oh
we're
my
going
God, guys!
live.
Sorry, we're late. The Politicrat is running late for reasons we cannot disclose. Or we don't.
Wait, we can't?
Well, if you guys want to
I mean,
disclose
if we wanted to just like shit on him, yeah. You must understand he's a raging alcoholic now.
We're literally gonna do like the AA intro, where he just goes on for like 5 minutes on something completely unrelated to the actual topic of the podcast.
Maybe we could turn that into a real episode and then not have to worry about that. But let's just do it.
Okay, so. Well, literally, this entire podcast was by the request of Politicrat, and then he's late.
And he's late to his own. Yeah. No, literally, we're supposed to start this at my time. We would have started it at 9:45. Gotta love being 45 minutes late to your own podcast, and then just saying start it without me. Amazing timing, Politicrat. Thank you.
Literally, because he wanted to talk about like Disney topics.
We won't even talk about what's going on with his profile picture. We don't know. Believe us.
Yeah. Well, no, I've seen this profile picture before of his on different streams.
Oh God, he does this on his channel. In the public. He does this in the public.
Yeah, on his channel. So
I thought he was the kind of guy to say keep it in the bedroom, but
yeah, it's like he has like Kipling, like swearing like an oath of something.
No, you must understand, it's not Coomer stuff. It's totally not.
And then he has like Elsa, like holding like the whatever's supposed to be in the place of the Bible or something. With
God help me, God,
I know.
Inshallah, brothers.
I know. Inshallah.
No. Politicrat the type of MF to be like, guys, I'm only acting like a Coomer ironically.
Anyone who has to specify they do it ironically is doing it unironically. That's just a fact of the matter.
I mean, if you're gonna coom post, just fucking do it.
Just coom post. Like don't even skid around the issue. Just do it.
Yeah. So Politicrat. Yeah. So what, Presser John? Did you want to talk about Disney? Give your takes on like a film. Should we go through the list again?
Yeah. Let's go through the list.
Okay.
Let's hear his fire takes.
All right. Yeah. I'll share my screen of.
God rest our souls.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. The same list that we did like the other day. So literally just for the Politicrat's sake.
Then he doesn't show up. You gotta love how this works out for us.
Yeah, I'll like quote Politicrat. He DM'd me. Sorry, friend is telling me about his Catholic retreat. It's like,
I don't care.
If you just come on, just bring your friend onto the podcast already.
But I mean, we might as well if he's gonna hold us up. Like, have whiskey on with us, then we can get you drunk and laugh at you. Like, at least it'll be fun then.
Yeah, at least he's having whiskey with his Catholic friend. It makes sense. I endorse that as a Catholic. So, Presser John, you want to talk about is Snow White cringer based? Like we literally did this the other night.
I don't know. I mean, you have isn't she? What? No, quick, because I was thinking of
perfect freeze frame.
So she is sent out to the. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's been a while since I've watched it. So it's not the one where the bitch in black puts a chick to sleep. That's Sleeping Beauty. So what's Snow White again? Seven Dwarfs. So chick is living among the dwarves.
And Saved by a Prince, I think. Oh yeah, poisoned, but with the apple. By the hook.
Right, it's the apple, not the needle. That's Sleeping Beauty, because I knew she was poisoned. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know, living amongst the dwarves. I don't know, man. That seems kind of like seems kind of like a the misunderstood misfit trope. So I'm gonna have to disavow This is secret bio-Leninism. A true Evolian cannot co-sign this film. But
of course.
I don't know. No, no. The real answer is the villain a woman? If the villain's a woman, then it's tolerable.
Well, the villain is kind of a woman. I mean, it's witch, so I'd say so.
Yeah, witch. So a woman. So I guess this gets the base score. So
based out of 10.
Yeah, semi
Deja
based
vu.
actually.
I just made this face before.
Yep. Literally deja vu. Thanks, Brian. I know how this feels. This is why this is part 2. Although part 2 will feel like part 1, kind of. and literally, like, we're gonna go to all the purple tabs on these films. Oh my god!
Just skip all the blues. We don't care.
Yeah,
Pinocchio is based and trad.
No explanation needed.
I will raise my children to fear the day that if they start goofing off, they might literally turn into a jackass. Okay, that's how I'm gonna.
That's a good. I'd say that's a good reasoning there.
Daddy, please! I don't want to turn into a jackass. Then do exactly what Daddy tells you, little Jimmy.
All right. Well, Pinocchio, yes, based out of based. So
based out of based, very standard.
I also like how very how the fairy that just made him a real boy is blonde and blue eyed. Cosign.
Hey man, you can't talk about that, man. We can't talk about that.
All right. So now we have Fantasia. Have you ever watched that, Prester?
No, I don't believe I have.
Oh my god, you are actually missing out. Like, it's literally like classical music that they decided to make animations around. Like, that's the whole theme of it. So it's like, if you want to hear like some pretty good classical music, mixed with like old Disney cartoons, like
no. You know what? You know what the true Disney masterpiece is? Disney's The Three Musketeers. That is a true reactionary masterpiece.
Yeah. All right. So this, I'm honestly, like, I just rate this as like a base out base because it's like truly classical music, and like we don't have actual beautiful music anymore because it's all been let's just say a certain N-wordified American music that we have to deal with, as Evelo would say. Okay, so we're going on to Dumbo next because we skipped the Reluctant Dragon because I don't think anybody's really watched that.
No one's seen that.
Elephant that flies on its ears go to the circus. I don't know what could be particularly based or cringe about that. It's just kind of on the nose.
Yeah, it's fairly standard.
I mean, I don't know.
We had an actually interesting discussion on it last episode, but not right now. I don't know why.
Wait, guys. No, I don't know what if they made a Disney movie about this, but what is it like? The Ugly Duckling? Anyone know that story?
Oh yeah, I do. Kaiser Bob. We will get to that.
Yes, we are getting there. Have patience, my friend.
We will be there soon.
Yep. I mean, we kind of gave like our opinions last episode, but we'll repeat it again. So yeah, Dumbo is kind of like just a wholesome film. I wouldn't say it's based though, just kind of wholesome.
No, but The Ugly Duckling is a truly reactionary masterpiece. Okay, I mean, think about it, right? He's ugly, he's rejected, and then he learns, well, the reason you're ugly and rejected is because you don't belong here. Go back to Africa,
literally. Very true, very true. Learn to use your God-given talents to the best of your ability. I mean, yeah, that literally it is God given. So I would agree.
Son of a bitch! I just hit my neck really hard. That hurt.
So we're going to Bambi, and we kind of had like this. Disney was kind of relating this since it was 1942 to like the war. Like we kind of suspected that it was that, like losing your parents in war and like having to be raised as an orphan and cope with the world essentially. I mean, we gave it much more in depth, and like Disney was in the First World War. In fact, he like enlisted underage. Like he technically wasn't supposed to be able to enlist. But
I feel like I have a feeling this episode is going to be a lot of the same thing as last time, where we just reiterate the points, and then Prester John throws in occasional racist comment.
But the thing is that I'm even less familiar with these films than
which is going to make it 10 times worse, clearly.
All because Politicrat couldn't show. So yes, the in summation, for all negative, yeah, literally.
If you have issues with this episode, viewers, and you're still watching at this point, firstly, I'm sorry for your loss. You're not getting these 11 minutes back, but you just have the consolation of knowing that this isn't our fault.
So those damn geese, yes, those damn geese, Kaiser Bob, I would agree. We're gonna have a lot more audience interaction than last episode because
we're gonna be like, what the hell?
Because literally Politicrat just can't fucking show. This might take a while to figure it out.
And you know what Politicrat's gonna say too? He's gonna go, oh well, when I was on your episode, you had higher viewership and content, and
it's like, honestly, no, not really. The stream that he was on like had the same viewership as like the other streams. So,
but for this one, it'll have higher viewership because people are like,
no, guys, no. This is how. So the way this channel should grow is you should just just up your $5 donation to Dave, and then he'll send more of his minions your way. That's how it's gonna work. Okay.
Yep. All right. So we
do the only way people grow. Just buy viewers. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, literally.
Oh dear God, Kaiser Bob, don't even.
What Kaiser Bob? Imagine Politicrat says his favorite Disney movie is Frozen. Oh,
look at his profile picture. Hold on. Take us off the Zoom for a minute. Back us up to just the photos. I want to see our profiles. Look at his photo. Look at that.
I need you now and I.
Yeah, literally. Look, he has Elsa in his PFP. So
believe us, friends. It's.
Hello, I have returned.
Finally!
Wow.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. I know. I heard you guys talking about me.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, now we have to backtrack through the list.
Let's do it. Let's backtrack through the list.
I'm gonna start charging you for my time like a lawyer.
Okay.
You heard me.
I should be charged for the hour for this. I mean,
yeah, literally. I'm gonna charge $82 an hour.
What do you mean? A lawyer charges like $100 an hour?
Yeah, no, I'm going cheap rates here.
Lawyer.
If he's Jewish, $300.
What the hell?
Like he's Jewish, yeah, $300. 100 if he's a Christian.
Okay, so we're literally going through like a list on IMDb, Politicrat, on like Disney films, and we're skipping ones that nobody really knows about. Only like the significant ones. So, what's your opinion on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Is it
Snow
based
White
or
and
not?
the Seven Dwarfs? Okay, I just realized just how like spurgy of a conversation this is going to be. But Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is about seven dwarves who have been exiled from their mountain kingdom in the north, and they have gone down to this Germanic kingdom, and they help the rightful heir of the king usurp the usurper queen to restore tradition and the traditional monarchy in that kingdom.
There's a doctor or a pharmacist somewhere wondering when was the last time Politicrat got his meds filled. Right about now.
But I mean, like that's actually like drastically increases the base score on this film.
Thank you for breathing, Prester John. We can hear.
Yeah, Prester John.
Shut up, but you agree. It's about the restoration of the proper order of succession.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we talked about that last episode too.
Yes. We did talk about that last episode.
Yes, but thank you.
Oh shit. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Wow,
well, gentlemen,
I mean, talk about new developments.
Would we like to shit talk the show while Darth disappeared? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wait.
No, guys. Dark Council.
Oh, he's back.
Dark
He's back.
Council
He's
sucks,
back.
Oh, what do I say?
Oh, he heard you saying that. He heard you saying that for the cry. You're done. You're gone. He heard you say that.
But no, sorry guys. I'm glad I'm on StreamYards because my internet bugged out for literally 1 second. So
Politicry is being banished to the darkness.
So yeah, we're gonna continue this. But so yeah, restoring the Aryan kingdom, good wars, to its rightful place.
If I run for school board, I'm going to be canceled. They're going to
interesting comment from. Hold on, before we move on to Pinocchio, interesting comment from Mr. Boru. Someone did an interesting observation that Snow White was basically someone to emulate during the Depression. Don't wait and complain; just roll up your sleeves and be useful during hard times. Huh. I'd agree with that to an extent. It's actually a fairly good example of that, which does raise it on the basicness scale even more.
Yes. I mean, this was the time of Disney proper, like when Disney was still alive.
When it was good.
When it was informed.
Yeah.
Yep. When it was properly informed. So Pinocchio.
It's about so here's the thing. So Pinocchio, he has a big nose. And he lies. So do you guys see where I'm going with this?
I swear to God.
So it's basically about.
No.
What? No, I'm kidding.
No, it's only funny when Prester John does it.
What? Okay, guys. How am I? I still don't understand why I'm doing.
You're the resident spur. Come on, you know that already.
No, I am a very reasonable.
No,
I'm a very reasonable person. Just because, like, I am like, literally, can't stop making.
Voila.
I mean, hey, man. Okay. Allah has gifted me with the gift of racism.
The cat starts drooling.
All right, but yeah, so Pinocchio,
based out of 10.
Yeah, like it literally it's like the classic German trope of a fairy tale. It's like, no, if you do naughty things, you will literally be like punished by demons and like turn into a jackass.
Okay, so what's crazy is that there's that. So 2022 was the year of 3 Pinocchio movies. There's this really dumb one with Pauly Shore that just made no sense called Pinocchio: The True Story. It's just a meme. And then there was a good Pinocchio made by Guillermo del Toro that had Mussolini in it, and it was stop motion. And then there was a remake of Disney's Pinocchio, which was shitty, and it completely because they thought it was too inappropriate for kids to handle. They had it when they went to Pleasure Island. It was like it wasn't beer and cigars; they just drank root beer. Like, doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That does.
I don't know, man. I mean,
smoking.
No, dude. Drinking and smoking is base, but it's the sugar that'll mess people up. Okay,
yeah,
that's true.
Exactly. This is what I've been saying.
All right. So now we're on to Fantasia.
Can't make.
Well, I did, but not like Jesus.
Okay, old man.
Okay.
It's Faustian, and it's Faustian by extension, and this is why. Because because of the sorcerer's pupil, which was a poem written by Goethe, and Goethe wrote Faust. So by extension, it is Faustian.
That's not an equivalency that you should ever draw again. Oh yeah, it's a Romeo and Juliet story because it was written by Shakespeare, who also wrote Romeo and Juliet.
No, okay.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
Never ever make that equivalency.
I don't think you understand sarcasm or like. irony. So like,
I don't think you're capable of emulating sarcasm there, friends.
I mean, sometimes you sound like you actually do mean it. Sometimes.
Wow,
Look,
an autistic Zoomer not understanding irony. I died of surprise.
No, believe me, it's not my issue with understanding. It's his issue of expressing.
No, it's not my issue of expressing. I purposefully say things deadpan because I want to see how people react.
You're kind of drunk, aren't you?
I mean, like,
Okay.
Faustian. You know, if I was going to take that, like, I know you're being sarcastic, but if this was actually like seriously like something Faustian, we need to now hunt down what is Faustian about.
Okay, actually, I could probably make an argument. It's okay.
Oh.
So he's making. Okay, here. So Mickey Mouse, aka the sorcerer's pupil, what he's doing is he's like, okay, I'm going to use magic to clean this. I'm going to harness magic to clean this entire place right here. And so he is basically embracing magic. And he is saying, I'm going to use this to do good. I'm going to use all this power to fulfill a goal because I want to make life easier for myself. I want progress. I don't want to have to do this like the old-fashioned way. I could do it this new way that just makes life easier. He ends up flooding the whole place in the end. It's Faustian. He basically makes a deal with the devil and floods the wizard's house. And the wizard's like, dude, you fucked up. Mm-hmm. That's I can make that argument for how it's Faustian, but I guess it's kind of subtle.
Yeah, that's actually very true. In fact, we were pointing out Faustianism in the last episode too, like how there's a lot of like Disney warning against the Faustian soul was a big theme in a lot of movies. So,
Walt Disney might have been a Calvinist, but like, I mean, he was our guy, unironically.
Unironically. My brother in Christ. Breathe through your nose, please.
Okay, now we're on to Dumbo.
Wait, brother in Christ, aren't we in schism?
You want to start a religious debate right now?
I mean, why not? It's more productive than doing it.
Honestly, probably.
You know that's for like another episode.
Well, wait. Is Tangled? Okay, wait. Is because I actually did. So I think isn't Wreck-It Ralph?
Shut the heck up.
Wait, bro, we can't.
Oh my God!
We're gonna get to Tangled. We're gonna get to Tangled. Don't worry.
I was just asking if that was even Disney, because it's hard to tell between Disney and Pixar these days.
No,
yes,
it's all the same shit.
Disney. It's not hard to tell between Disney and Pixar at all. Yes,
okay. Okay, geniuses.
I know. Okay. I am a genius.
Don't lump me in there.
I'm actually not quite a genius. I'm not quite a genius.
Wasps.
Okay, I don't think any of us are geniuses. We're just repeating what we've learned.
We're just autistic fucks. Like at the end of the day.
Who's we? You speaking French?
Well, I'm not diagnosed with autism. I'm just autistic. Like that's the thing. Like it's a metaphysical state.
You know, Kaiser Bob.
Autism is a metaphysical state.
Unironically, yes.
Okay.
The metaphysical state of watching this show.
Yeah. But Fantasia basically introduced me to classical music like Beethoven and Bach. You know, Professor John, that's actually a good point because probably for a lot of people it was their only exposure. So that's a good thing about that film.
That's sad. Honestly, that's sad to consider.
Well, in the 40s, dog.
Fantasia might be people's only exposure to classical music in modernity.
Well, it was in the 40s. It was when that was.
No, but I mean nowadays, like that people might have not heard.
Nowadays.
Like,
with the degradation of the West,
they're gonna be listening to this whole like party in the Kali Yuga USA. I don't care. I love it. Like, oh, boats and hoes, like all that modern Kali Yuga shit. I don't even know if those are the names of the songs, but like, and then you hear Tchaikovsky and the dancing flowers and stuff in Fantasia, and it's like, this is actually beautiful. This is beauty. This is like objective beauty right here. And like, I hope I'm making sense. I hope.
Yes, you are. That's just kind of like what we said a little bit earlier and last episode too. So I think we're all like kind of in agreement that like movies like Fantasia should actually be like popularized. Like the first time I ever watched it was like in my second grade music class, and like I actually like loved it. I'm glad the teacher like exposed me to Fantasia.
it's good to watch if you partake in legal recreational substances. It is actually it is a fantastic experience to watch if you are on cannabis.
Yeah.
Eat my shorts, Kaiser Bob. Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts. Yeah.
Okay. So, but Dumbo, Politicrat, your opinion? We've been on this tab for like a while now.
Well, here's the thing. So Dumbo, it depends on whether you think. I mean, the one moral lesson of Dumbo, like the main moral, well, it's very pro-family. It's about don't separate children from their mothers. How that fucks them up. And eventually, if you separate children from their mothers, they're going to go down a bad route, and they're going to start getting into like degenerate activities like drinking alcohol, and they're going to like be drunk every night. They're going to see pink elephants. And
yeah,
this is a stretch. I know, but like
another Spurg.
Because remember, Dumbo started drinking after he was separated from his family.
Yeah,
and it was very destructive. It was very destructive, in that, at least in that scene. And you had to have his mouse friend, who came and helped him. And in the end, he found his mother again, and Jim Crow sang to him. I don't know. That's all.
Who sang?
No, there was literally a crow in the movie called Jim Crow, and he was black.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. It's the best thing Disney's ever made behind Song of the South.
Beautiful.
Song of the South, like, honestly, is actually, I've seen it before. It's not a bad movie.
Changed nothing about it.
It's kind of wholesome.
Well, actually, there's not enough N-bombs in it, I think.
There's no N-bombs in it. Like, actually, he was the first black man to get nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor.
I agree with that statement. I just object that I was not the one who said it.
Says the thing you were thinking to say. Damn you for saying the thing I was thinking to say.
The Freudian slip by another person. But we're on to Bambi now. Politicrat, your opinion.
Bambi.
We already said our piece.
Well, it is about him learning to be king, isn't it?
No. I mean, literally, Bambi's mother gets shot by a hunter.
But remember, I think his dad. No, his dad is like. Isn't his dad like the king of the forest?
No, what the fuck are you on?
I don't.
No,
he has a dad. He has a dad, and it's about him like.
His dad's not even in the film. You fucking.
He appears at the end, and he takes him under his wing at the very end of the film.
What crack are you smoking, homo?
Okay, yes. Actually, at the end, yes, the father does come back. But
look it up. See who Bambi's dad is. Google who is Bambi's dad, because I guarantee you, he's called like the king of the forest.
Honestly, I think we should recognize that Bambi is the black family experience. No father, mother gets shot. I mean,
but he has a father. There was also.
But the father's not in the picture. The father's not in the picture.
No. His father is the gangbanger of the whole neighborhood. So it is actually the black experience still.
Somebody look this up. I guarantee you that his father is like the king of the deer. His father is literally.
I don't get what you guys are going on about schizo takes like this. But honestly, like this is why I related it to like the First World War and like the Second World War last episode, was because it's like Bambi's mother gets shot, left without parents, and the father is like away, like, and it's literally like the idea of like war dividing families, like the father being gone at war, the mother, something tragic happens to her while the husband's gone, like that. That's literally, I think that's what the theme was, like, because it was.
That's the high IQ take. That is the high IQ take right there.
Yeah, because it literally was made in 1942. So it was during the height of World War II when America entered, and Disney was in the First World War. So that's like kind of why I think Disney made that.
Brian Boru tells us that his father was the great prince of the forest. That's his name.
Damn, I got proven wrong. Our wonderful viewer Bubba or Brian just sent us not Brian Boru, different Brian.
Well, I also just looked it up too, and yes, it is true.
Great Prince of the Forest. But no one watched the movie that far. If you tell me that you've watched the movie that far, you're a liar and a scoundrel, and I don't wish to see you in my chat.
Okay.
I like the rabbit.
Your chat?
The rabbit was my favorite character.
Yeah. Well, Thumper, is that his name? Am I right?
I think so. I haven't seen that
Thumper.
movie in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years either.
Nobody. I feel like Bambi's the one that everyone respects, but nobody remembers.
Yeah, no one watched that
very,
shit.
very true.
No,
okay, which
serious.
one? Song of the South is next.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god.
Zippity day.
Literally, we said nothing was wrong with this film. It's based out of based. I don't know. What's your take, Politicrat?
Okay, so like I understand why people today would like have a problem with it, but you kind of need to look at it in context. It was actually like a very, very progressive film for the time, which is kind of funny. It was like a way forward for like black representation. Just look at Uncle Remus. Like Uncle Remus was like the very first major black leading character you saw on screen. But they're trying to get rid of that. They're trying to cancel it. Disney is so embarrassed that they created the film that revolutionized black representation, which I find really funny.
Disavow. I guess if it's black representation, that I cannot co-sign this film.
So are you saying Song of the South is too woke for you?
I guess so.
No, so Song of the South, it's too ashamed of it. It's an important film. It is a very important film, and I'm just saying this from an objective perspective, from just like somebody who is a big proponent of film, who's like who's a lay film scholar, I guess, just trying to synthesize it with culture. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but either way, it is a classic. Disney should not be ashamed of it. They should have it on Disney Plus with a disclaimer, if anything. Like it should just be like some of these representations may be dated, but the thing is,
they're based.
I don't know. It's like it was a very important film in the black community in the 40s and 50s, which I just find really, really ironic. Like nobody talks about that, but it was the first signs of woke at Disney.
I mean, imagine having to lean on an animated father figure as a role model.
Ooh.
That is pretty funny. But
anyway, we should definitely do movie night sometime. I can find a bootleg copy. Probably we could watch it.
I actually like ordered the DVD of Song of the South the other night. So.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Darth is a classy, law-abiding racist.
Yes. I will not bootleg Song of the South. All right. So now we're going to Cinderella.
I mean, my thoughts clear on this one.
It's why having a single mother, especially a single stepmother, will fuck you up.
Well, and not just that, but it's literally the whole class thing. Like she's a princess by caste, and a noble.
Well, she's aristocratic, like her father's aristocratic,
and she lives with a bunch of commoners, and they try and keep her from her destiny of being with the other aristocrat.
And stepmother's a filthy merchant. She's a filthy merchant.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And then she goes on and against their wishes, ends up getting with him anyway because she's quite literally perfect. And so like it's a perfect representation of how the castes will eventually always return to the way they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I don't know how if that's how the 10-year-old girls interpret it, but okay.
Nobody didn't plant that idea.
Yeah.
Does it though?
It does. You're just.
I don't know.
Okay, go.
I feel like it's just kind of like, oh my god.
Song of the South though? Why Song of the
South? Mom and my family are holding me back. One of these days, I'm actually a secret. I mean, the fact that she's somewhat upper class by blood. I mean, at the end of the day, this is still sort of the the low on high and high on low kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, also we were doing like physiognomy checks last night as well.
Yes, that was
on the stepsisters for the weak
Yep.
chin.
Yep.
Yes.
As you can see, the weak chin, which proves that they are unworthy of blah blah blah.
Their blood is inferior.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
so
the solar Aryan Cinderella, who is only she is worthy to rule and enhance the divine bloodline of the king.
No, okay, here's the weird thing that's really inconsistent that kind of bothers me. So he's called Prince Charming, but isn't her dad like, or is it not her dad? But isn't his dad like called the Archduke?
No, I think that's just a different guy.
So
well,
no,
even then, the child of an archduke would still be a prince, I believe.
No.
It would be no, it would be plutocrat. Literally, dukes, their children are princes. I'm looking this up.
Sure?
I'm also looking up Cinderella's like characters right now, just to see what.
That's funny. Imagine there is somebody right now who is currently monitoring the activity for the Disney Wiki. And they're like, "Oh, look! There's another person who came onto the Disney Wiki. Look, there were there were 200 people. Now there are 201 people. Who's that one person?"
Kaiser Bob gave us a good comment. It's the Grand Duke. So even if he was the father of the prince, then it's still a prince because the son of the Grand Duke, like in I think it's Luxembourg, has the Grand Duke. His son is the prince. So
yeah. Yeah, that's just like the trope all across Europe, like because a duke is like a lower monarchical title, so like prince would still be applied to the children and princess,
except in England.
In England.
England's weird. We don't talk about the English.
No, because they
don't talk about perfidious Albion.
It's strange. They call counts earls. I mean,
they're weird.
They just call them earls.
On that note, gents, I have to go for tonight. It's been good. I will see you on the next episode. To all the viewers, have a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, Darth is giving Disney views. Yes, physiognomy check. Disney would have given physiognomy checks.
Hey, have you seen that? Do you remember that episode of Family Guy? It was that cutaway gag where it's like cryogenic Disney. He just wakes up, and he's like, "Are the Jews gone yet?" And then the guy says no. He's like, "Okay, put me back in."
Disavow. The idea that Walt Disney was anti-Semitic is a leftist meme.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean he was no more anti-Semitic than people at the time.
Okay.
Which means by today's standards, probably, but like not by those standards.
Yeah.
You think that Jewish identity is distinct from the rest of the world, or you know anything about it? That's anti-Semitic.
Oh boy. I'm anti-Israel, so I'm anti-Semitic, therefore. And I'm not even anti-Israel, but apparently, according to progressive Zionists, I am. Whatever.
Okay. Plutocrat, do you want to talk about Treasure Island? Like, nobody really had comments the other day.
I watched it over Christmas break. I watched both regular and Muppet. It's not animated, though, but, like, it's just Treasure Island. It's a good adventure story, good coming-of-age story. It's a classic coming-of-age story. So, like, in classic coming-of-age stories, I guess, are, like, important for boys. Treasure Island is a must-read. Just like, even as a book, this transcends Disney. It is a must-read for young boys. Like, I say especially, it's like, The Hobbit and Treasure Island are the two definitive books that boys need to read at some point between the ages of 10 and 14.
Okay. So, well, that's a good take because honestly, like, not many of us, like, it had been a while since I watched Treasure Island. I never read the book, so
Treasure Planet is the superior adaptation, in my opinion.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll eventually get there. So we're going to Alice in Wonderland. We were kind of saying,
I don't know,
the other night.
This is a weird one.
Yeah, we were kind of saying, like, you know, this isn't like really trying to say too much. It's just kind of like the whims of a child's imagination of the world and how adults act, like how children think adults act.
Yeah, no, she's just a little girl with a big imagination. Like, some people say, oh, she was mentally ill, and I kind of understand that interpretation, but no, she's just a little girl playing. That's literally all it is. It's a little girl who's playing, and that should be encouraged. Little kids need to play. They need to use their imagination, because nowadays you have like parents who are like suppressing children's imaginations. Like, even if there's like a little boy, okay, if there's a little boy who's like, okay, I'm playing with this doll right now, and this doll is fighting against my G.I. Joe. The parents see the kid with the doll and say, okay, yeah, you're actually a little girl. No, it's not. Like, they're just using their imaginations. If a kid says, I'm a dinosaur, like you actually do have like progressive parents these days who are trying to suppress the imaginations of their little kids.
Based imagination for these grown-ups are just what's like the KN what was it, the Kids Next Door, where the entire premise of the show is they're fighting adult tyranny. That is the most reactionary thing ever.
That sounds more like libertarian revolutionary to me, but whatever.
No, okay. Adult tyranny is the true source of gay. Okay, people.
Well, modern day, not nowadays. Yes, I agree. But either way, Alice in Wonderland. Long story short, it is about like a child in Victorian England who likes to play in the garden beneath the tree after school with her big sister, and she likes bunnies.
Yeah, so it's a wholesome out-of-based score.
Yeah, it's also it also does work, by the way. The first 40 minutes, the entire film of Alice in Wonderland actually syncs up with Pink Floyd's The Wall. You should do it sometime. It works.
All right, now we're on to Robin Hood, 1950s version of the film.
Who's this with?
Richard Todd, John Rice.
Never seen this. I've seen the Errol Flynn version, and I saw the one with the foxes, which is also Disney.
So I think this is kind of relating to the more original tale of Robin Hood, where it's Robin Hood defending the legitimacy of Richard the Lionheart while he's away on crusade against his brother. I think that's closer to the original tale, unlike today, where it's like the weird narrative of like stealing from the rich and giving to the poor that modern Robin Hood interpretations do.
Also, we need to remember, so like I'm not against constitutional or democratic elements in the government. That's where you and I have disagreed. However, if I'm going to make an argument like from your perspective, theoretically, like basically we need to remember Prince John. Do you know who he was? He literally was the king who created Parliament. Remember, he signed the Magna Carta.
Oh yeah.
He created Parliament. Well, originally Parliament was just the barons.
He was a bitch.
But what did you say? But like, I mean, yes, he was kind of pressured into it, but he still did it. He could have just suppressed the barons, but he didn't.
He was also a whiny, like, fiscal fag, always worrying about, oh my god, my cool-based Chad brother is spending so much money in the Crusades. Will someone think of the GDP and my taxes?
He's a libertarian. No, even worse. He wasn't a libertarian. He was like a centrist Democrat neoliberal who wants to raise taxes but deregulate everything and cares about GDP.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah. He was the first liberal.
Yeah, just like a centrist liberal.
Oh my god,
an unsensible centrist.
Literally, literally, Robin Hood is the legitimist fighting against the tyranny of the liberals.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think first.
Let's wait and talk about Robin Hood until we get to the cartoon one with the fox.
Yeah, because that was the only watchable frickin' version.
That's the best version. Yeah.
We're really going in chronological order, so that's why I brought it up. Okay, Peter Pan.
It's why this entire thing is why you need to grow the fuck up and like stop acting like a child. Because it turns out in the end, even though the dad realizes, okay, maybe I'm a little too harsh on my children, at the same time, like he realizes that, but at the same time, Wendy comes over and is like, you know what, Dad? You're kind of right. I also do need to grow up. You were right this whole time. And so it's like they're kind of finding middle ground. And then here's the weird thing. A little sidetrack. But so I was talking with my friend the other day, and we were reminiscing about movies that like we remember that we only saw once, but we remember from when we were really little kids. There was a Peter Pan 2 that was not terrible, but I only saw it once, and for some reason I remember it well. But the movie literally starts off with Wendy's husband joining the British Expeditionary Force. And then Captain Hook kidnaps her during the middle of the Battle of Britain during the Blitzkrieg, the daughter of Wendy. And then she like hates Peter Pan because she's like a little brat. And then she becomes friends with him, but then she betrays him. But then after that, like the Kraken sinks Captain Hook's ship and kills him. And then like the daughter suddenly wakes up from the dream. And then the dad comes back conveniently at the same movie and is like, "Oh, well, I'm back early. We were just driven out of France by the Nazis, and we had to escape the beaches of Dunkirk." And it was really strange, just now that I think back of it. Like, it's literally concurrent with Operation Dynamo and, like, the failure of the British Expeditionary Force. I don't know why or how I remember this, but it was really, it's strange that they took that, like, I feel like it would have been more interesting to follow Wendy's husband, just like just an animated Dunkirk instead of a Peter Pan 2.
Peter Pan 2, The Escape from Dunkirk.
No. I think it was actually called like Escape from Neverland or something, or Escape to Neverland. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, the idea of like Neverland's like immortality feature and how you could basically have like historical. Literally, that concept alone deserves to be played with more. Like, what if like some old forgotten monarch or historical figure that just disappeared one day were to suddenly come back and be like, "Oh, hey guys, man, these phones and these new like technologies are just so neat. But actually, we need to go back to the good old days."
No, okay. There was. I remember there was that. There was a show. I remember I watched it with my family when I was like a kid. It was like it was ABC. It was like Once Upon a Time, and Peter Pan was actually an evil guy who wanted to keep everybody as like children forever and steal their souls, and they had to kill Peter Pan.
Okay.
And it turns out that the guy who played Peter Pan was the same guy who played Ferb and Phineas and Ferb, but it was kind of funny when I found out.
Oh my God! Wow. Also,
I remember Rumpelstiltskin being the best character on that show. That's the only thing I remember. Like that was actually it was a good family show. That's all. That's what I remember of it.
Okay, so apparently Brian says the original book apparently hints that Captain Hook is actually a Stuart claimant.
No. That's he is actually. Okay. I am writing a book right now that takes place during the War of the Spanish Succession. And it has a lot of privateer characters in it, and the origin of a lot of the fictionalized origin, of a lot of these privateers. And there is a person whose name is James Fitzjames, I think his name was, but he's the bastard grandson of Charles II. He's an Etonian. He went to Oxford, but eventually he ends up becoming an aristocratic pirate captain because a lot of these pirate captains were aristocrats, and he ends up getting his hand bitten off by a crocodile.
Is a health unto His Majesty with a fa la 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 la.
James Hook is a Jacobite. Like that was Sir James Barry's. That was his intent. Because a lot of pirates were. Early 18th century piracy was a Jacobite movement, and I wrote that's actually the premise of my thesis.
Mm-hmm. We actually talked about that when the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean came up, and how Blackbeard, like, they kind of did him dirty because he was a Jacobite. But I didn't actually remember this about Peter Pan 2. That he was dodging German bombers and fighters.
Yeah, no, this ship was literally flying during the Blitz, and like I remember there was like this guy who was like, "Is that a barrage balloon?" And like looks up, and it's like his ship flying.
Okay. And then he dressed up as a cavalier in the book, says something about how if he knew. Okay. Yeah, I've never read the book.
It was a play. I thought was it a book? I thought it was a play.
Or I don't know.
Something. Whatever. I could be wrong.
So 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. opinion?
I don't know if I've ever seen this one. I probably did when I was really little, but it's about the Faustian spirit of adventure.
Unfamiliar. I mean,
it's about the Faustian spirit of adventure because they're journeying where no man has gone before, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Next.
Yes. Yeah,
honestly, I don't know. I feel like I have the reverse of the Faustian spirit of adventure then, because every time I think of like, man, am I somewhere? Have I done something that no one else has ever done before? Have I been somewhere no one else has ever before? I feel kind of uncomfortable. Okay, adventure is lame. Stay home. Avoid strangers, kid. Just go home and have a nice meal. I don't know.
Hobbit. That's very Hobbit of you.
Yes. Okay, we're on Lady and the Tramp. I already gave my opinion last night.
Basically a degradation of the casts.
Yeah, that's what we said too. But although then we kind of like countered like our own like saying degradation of the cast because they're dogs.
Also,
so
it's also the Chinese are evil. We need to watch out for them.
Yeah, we pointed that out last night too.
We have Siamese, if you please.
I gotta love Walt Disney doing literally physiognomy checks on his own cartoon characters.
I know, I love because this was this was made during like what the 50s before the Sino-Soviet split. So like it's like literally like they are commies basically, the communist cats.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Old Yeller.
Oh, that's a sad. Oh, that one. I'm gonna cry.
Shut it, Brian Baru. No one wants to hear from you. Hey, that rhymes.
But yes, your opinions. Like I vaguely remember this film because it's been like a decade since I watched it. So
it's about why families are important and why the dog is an important part of the family unit, because it is. Yes, it's not like a part of the immediate family, of course. It's a fucking dog. But that doesn't make them not important. A dog is a wholesome feature for the family and plays an integral role in the happiness of the family. Also, and then if you're in like the Old West, like an Old Yeller, in protecting the family.
Yeah.
The family is not a family without a pet. Like I 100%.
And he sacrificed himself against that wolf that gave him rabies. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And that's the boy that has to become a man and put down his dog so that way he doesn't degrade farther.
That's how he becomes the man. Like it's a coming of age story about the kid too. It's just like how he has to do something to Because if you think about it, like rabies, like are you really you when you have rabies, or are you basically a zombie? Like rabies is basically the closest thing you come to like being a zombie.
Mm-hmm. I think it inspired the idea of zombies as well.
Oh no, because there's also like, did you know about there are like fungal diseases that turn ants into zombies? I think it was
God, don't tell me about cordyceps. I've already been. I'm not gonna watch that damn show. Zombies are a lame concept. Just get done with it. Putting down Old Yeller was an actual kind of emotional.
mercy.
I mean, this probably broke kids more than Bambi's mom or whatever. Okay.
No, absolutely, dude. Like, there's something about. Have you noticed, like, when a human dies in movies, you don't cry, but it's like easier to cry, like when a dog dies. Like, there's something sadder about a dog dying in movies.
I kind of still cry for some humans in movies more than I do animals. Although,
only if it's like their mom or something. But like, I know what you mean.
Humans die, I sleep. Animals die, real shit.
All right, so now we're on Sleeping Beauty.
So three lesbians kidnap a girl and make her go to sleep, and then she gets like date raped.
Yeah. So okay. So
this is the least trap. Might be the least trap of the classics.
No. So the spiteful, evil, demon witch old hag, who is probably like using a bunch of skin perk products and has like a dozen facelifts, which is why she looks like a demon, like Madonna.
No, she's literally supposed to be a demon though.
And she, and then she consults the dark mirror of Shaitan to destroy true Aryan princess, but by the might and only, and of course, what's more reactionary than a woman being saved by a man? I mean, come on, people.
If that's reactionary now, then that's sad. If it's just a woman being saved by a man, if that's edgy and far right now.
It's literally like the it's not edgy, but it's like it is reactionary. Like it's an old European trope of literature. Like
it's fundamentally human, I guess, but yes, the whole. I mean, yeah, political. Oh, this is what's deep. This is what's profound. Now, yes, basic human things are profound again. Okay, we can whine at the sort of state of modern culture, but at the end of the day, you could take another. It's like there's you could take it like a positive aspect, right? Where almost like childlike rediscovering humanity. That we don't need to be a perpetual downer. So yes, Sleeping Beauty is based. Cope seed dilate.
I was just trying to be contrarian there, but you make a good point. So I'm neutral on Sleeping Beauty, but I do like the film. I think out of all the movies, its animation has probably aged the most gracefully.
I would agree with that. I mean, I do enjoy most of the old animation style.
Even the little packaged movies that were sent to World War II soldiers, like most of the ones in the 40s were just like 3 short films stuffed into one. But like even those are fun to watch, especially given the context. Like they were specifically made for World War II soldiers.
So since Trad Raider, this is like he liked this film, of course, but I don't know if any of you
unfamiliar.
Class. I saw it when I saw the Zorro movies when I was little.
Okay. Anything you like to say? Because like Trad,
he's a traditional masculine hero. Even though Zorro takes place in California, it is based on much older Spanish folklore, partially inspired by El Cid, who fought the Muslims in Spain. But just that sort of archetype. He's the knight archetype, like the knight errant. And that
is one of the Kufar out of here.
Who?
It's basically he's a transplant of the old Spanish like knight errant. Fighting against the invaders, but fights for justice. He's fighting for justice.
Well, he's also isn't he a bit of the Old West outlaw too?
Yeah, no. The Old West outlaw. The thing is because the whole point of the knight errant is they were loyal to like a higher loyalty. If the law was corrupt, if the law was wrong, they would go against the law to help the people, and that's who Zorro is.
All right. Well, based knight trope. So that gets a base score. I think also like Zorro, according to Trad Raider, like also fought like in the Napoleonic Wars, specifically in Spain, and like he returned to Mexico after, which at that time California was part of Mexico. Okay, which one's the next one? Swiss Family Robinson.
It's not the family.
Yeah, somebody wanted to talk about that the other night. I kind of wanted to skip over it, but
all I'll say is they managed to their family after they get stranded on an island. Their family, it doesn't destroy their family. They all live. They all love each other. They build a home. It's basically home. Home is not a house. Home. This sounds super contrived, but home literally is defined by the family.
Yeah, and like they also like tamed the island that they came upon. So it's like the Faustian drive.
Did they stay in the very end when they had an option to go back to like Switzerland?
I think they did
because they built like a cool ass treehouse. It's like why would you want to leave that?
And completely tamed the wilderness, like Faustian. That's very Faustian. But
they also fought the evil pirates. They managed to fight them off. It's like. I don't know if that has to do with being trapped, but like the pirates represented anarchy in that, and they represented civilization.
Yeah. 101 Dalmatians.
It's about the family.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say. It's about the family.
And we were saying like, we were physiognomy checking Kamala DeVille, and we were also saying that she's
Kamala
French. Just
Kamala DeVille.
yeah, Kamala.
The fact, what type of crack they were doing in the boardroom before they get pitched the fucking film of her is beyond me. Like, what the hell was even the point of that?
I don't know. It's like this trope of like trying to reshape how we view these despicable villains.
So they're doing like the remakes of the old classic films and like the live action remakes, right? And then how do you get from there to, hey, let's do a movie casting Angelo Jolie as like a demon?
Yeah.
Like what was the pitch? What was like the, hey, we can make tons of money with this? Or literally, it would basically they must have been like doing like a black mass in that boardroom, because that's all it is it's subversive. There is no actual.
Yeah, it was subversion for the sake of it was subversion for subversion's sake.
But
it's like I remember watching it with my family and being entertained, but it was like, this kind of like ruins the original story.
But no. So original, large family based, and ugly women in bed. Simple as.
Yep, and also she's French, like with the "de" in there. So, also don't trust the French is the theme of the film.
I also like the two stupid robbers because they're just doing their job. They're like they're good old. They are the two robbers aren't bad. They're just like working class East Londoners who are being exploited by a rich woman because they can't get any other job, because they're probably World War II veterans, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably true. But we actually forgot to cover this last night. The Absent-Minded Professor.
I only remember the Robin Williams remake.
Oh,
what was it called? No, it wasn't called the Flubber. That's what it was called. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, it was called Flubber. This one though, I remember it actually being like fairly decent. I don't exactly remember everything about it, but I do remember it being somewhat wholesome. Even if like this professor keeps on missing his wedding because he can't stop focusing on work. So I don't know.
He needs to be able to balance work and his wife.
Mm-hmm. And then he literally uses technology to like cheat in basketball
to make himself black.
Yes. No, he gives all the white basketball players the powers of the black man.
I've definitely never seen this one. I should though. It sounds funny.
Yeah, it is really funny. I like it more than the Robert Williams remake. I can definitely remember that. Okay, now there's like a lot of ones that we're going to be skipping here. Just because
I don't even know half of these. Like
exactly, that's the reason why we skip so many. Mary Poppins. Yep, we go.
It's definitely trad. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we were kind of saying that she was being subversive because she was trying to get the kids out of work. By using magic.
To be fair though, that like they were like 8 though. 8-year-olds don't need to be like work. That's the thing.
I think it's my inner German in me that's like, no, you must work.
No, they can work, but they don't need to.
Nigel, get your ass in that factory, boy.
No, the thing is, but the thing is, okay. So you're a Catholic, Kilhoun. I would think you would not be a fan of the dad because the dad literally embodies early 20th century Protestantism, stinginess.
I don't. Let's just say my opinion of this is that's kind of
this was when Anglicanism was coming out of its 200-year cringe phase. Like it was still very influenced by Calvinism. It was still trying to break free from the Calvinist heresies that subverted it.
Okay. I still think schism is like a pretty big heresy.
Well, that's a completely different story. We'll talk about that another time. We'll have this. I want to have this debate another time. But
okay.
Mary Poppins was also very feminine, very traditional.
Yeah, did have that feminine grace.
Yeah, no, she literally did. Like, I mean, you do like she was very clearly designed. Like the metaphor, she was clearly supposed to be an angel. Like that was like the root of it. Like, I mean,
yeah, but
she has the angel archetype. She fits that.
Like,
she's very innocent.
Like the only
pardon.
Well, like the only angel that really like does like let's just say magical things for biblical characters is like in the book of Tobit. Like that's about it. Where
but I just want to say,
where
like,
Raphael assists in exorcism.
If the movie was remade today, the chimney sweep and Mary Poppins would have had a sex scene. Like, I say that hyperbolically, but like they would
God
have
have mercy.
They would have had a romance between them. But like that's not the point of the movie. Like they were just friends. She was wholesome. That's the whole point. She's supposed to be a wholesome, magical woman who guides the family, who comes to the family in their need, who helps them repair their family because they're very dysfunctional in the beginning. Like, manages to convince the children, okay, you need responsibility, but also tells the dad, you need to lighten up a bit. She was literally sent by God. No, Mary Poppins was literally sent by God. Like, that's the whole point.
But who's gonna, have sex with her though? That's the real question, right?
She doesn't. The whole point, she does not have sex.
I'm trolling, but it is kind of funny though that it's media has come to the point where, progressive socialite women who make modern media nowadays that you memed with that little hyperbole basically have the same mindset as like a bunch of college frat girls that are like, when their friend is telling them about like the date they just had and they're like, that's good, nigga, but did you smash? You know what I mean?
Okay, you know what's funny? So I was in a fraternity in college. There was not a single person who ever said that. Like, there were probably 2 fuckboys and that was it.
But even that, what if the reverse is the left is now the fuck boys and the fuck girls, and like all the right is, and like all the beefcakes are just trad celibates?
A lot of them were pretty conservative, like a lot, like a quarter, like a third of them were practicing Catholics. Maybe that's why.
So
I just enjoyed a nice expensive glass of whiskey with one. He came over for a little bit, so that's why I delayed on getting on here. He's telling me about his church retreat.
But no, it's an interesting sort of reversal where, but no, yeah, back to, so Mary Poppins is based, wholesomeness, cosine.
Okay, so on to the Jungle Book.
Can you give me like a minute real quick, because I have something very important to say about the Jungle Book.
Yes, go ahead.
Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and true as the sky, and the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back, for the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. Wash daily from nose tip to tail tip, drink deeply but never too deep, and remember the night is for hunting, and forget not the day is for sleep. The jackal may follow the tiger, but cub when the whiskers are grown. Remember the wolf is a hunter. Go forth to get food of thine own. Keep peace with the lords of the jungle, the tiger, the panther, the bear, and trouble not hath he but silent, and mock not the bear in his lair. When the pack meets the jungle when the pack meets the pack of the jungle, and neither will go from the trail, lie down till the leaders have spoken. It may be fair words that shall prevail. I'll skip the rest of it and I'll end with, cave right is the right of the father, to hunt by himself for his own. He is freed of all calls to the pack. He is judged by the council alone. Because of his age and his cunning, because of his gripe in the paw, and all that the law leaveth open, the word of your head wolf is law. Now these are the laws of the jungle, and many and mighty are they, but the head of the hoof is the law, and the haunch of the hump is obey. Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Book.
Okay. But no, yeah. So I remember reading. Okay, so I haven't watched a movie in a while, but so you've mentioned the source literature. So actually I remember reading. So the film itself is standard. What is it? You got like the bear trying to take away from the panther. So you have like the peasant taking in the movie. You have like the peasant taking the young heir to the throne or some crap or off to go party and waste time or something in the film. So it's I don't know. So but no, but so I mean this like I remember so this like I remember in the original I think I remember a graphic novel that was like a adaptation of the book. I read in I think it was like multicultural literature in high school. And
that's based. I'm sorry, I just need to say that's based that they made you read Kipling for multicultural literature.
Right? But
because Kipling was white. No, Kipling was white as fuck, but he understood India better than most Indians at the time.
No, but right. So it was sort of like, and there was this one scene where I don't know, but where there's this scene where the boy, I don't know what's his name, Mowgli. It escapes me. Yeah, right. Where he comes across this dead men and this golden spear or something like that, and it's basically implied that there was like a fight between pirates or something like that, and the men killed each other over something, a gold relic or something like that, and he's like, huh, why do they keep trying to kill each other over this? So basically, there's this idea of that people in the jungle, the lion doesn't have any greed. There's this sort of like noble savage thing going on, and I don't. That's unrelated to the Disney film, but that's just what I'm familiar with. This, so that I don't know if I have to disavow. So I already talked about the animated film, what I remember. So all in all, disavow Jungle Book. No, I cannot co-sign.
No, I completely disagree, and here's why. The entire film, well, the film is based, of course, on the Jungle Book. In the Jungle Book, it's basically about you need to know your place in society. The film does reflect that well. You need to know your place in society. Baloo is this fun-loving bear. He's a good guy, and he lives life fine. But the thing is, Mowgli's not a bear. He's a man, he's a boy. He cannot live life as a bear. That is not his dharma. And dharma is a key concept within the Jungle Book itself. What does Mowgli do in the end? He does what he is supposed to do. He does what basically the role he was born as a human. He was born to be a man. He needs to live as a man. So what does he do? He could have stayed with Baloo in the jungle, but no, he doesn't. He goes and he lives with his kind. He goes and lives with the humans because he's not a bear. He is a human. Staying with the bear and acting like a bear, that's rejecting your dharma. That's rejecting what you're supposed to be.
Wow. You know what? I am actually glad that my low effort hot take led to you saying the most profound thing that you've said this entire stream. Bravo, Politicrat. All
Change your mind on the Jungle Book? Have I red pilled you on the Jungle Book?
No, but I at least I take back everything bad I said to you before you showed up on stream. Oh wait, you didn't know about that. Well, anyway.
Tell me, what did he say?
we were just dissing you because you didn't show up, you little tardy prick. But no, yeah.
I was talking to my friend about a church retreat he went on and about how profound it was for him. That was more important at the time. I'm sorry.
No, but I do like the idea of like I don't know if I do like the idea of like being raised like Romulus and Remus being raised by like the wolves and the beasts and shit. It is kind of like a cool thing, right?
We also need to remember India is like the most like weirdest, creepiest, but also fascinating and esoterically beautiful civilization. It's strange.
No, honestly, I'll say this. I don't know why, but I have this weird thing where literally there are only two places that I cannot be bothered to give a shit about in world history is like South America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the Indian subcontinent. Everything from steppe tribes to China to Europe to pre-Columbian North America, but those three things I just can't be bothered. So
I think India is more interesting than China. I used to be the opposite, but there's just something about India that is like there's definitely like a metaphysical. There's something to India that I think we haven't discovered yet.
What is it? Is it the land of the gods? Is that what it is?
I believe in one God. I believe in God the Father, creator of heaven.
Well, okay. But I mean,
yeah, you know what I mean.
But I think I remember watching this one video that the reason Genghis Khan didn't invade India is because he believed it was divine or something from the Aryan invasions that was basically like common knowledge to the people in the East or something until the later. So
some people even believe that. So I can't say whether I can neither avow it nor disavow it, but there is a theory that, like, I don't know how realistic it is, but that Christ at one point in his early 20s made his way to India, but that was appropriated by Indian nationalists to say that he learned from Hinduism, which is most certainly not true. But it's interesting to think, like, because Jesus was clearly well traveled. But
I don't really see a reason why he would ever have left.
I don't either.
Judea.
But I just say it was an interesting theory.
Like, what's that one theory that I've heard that no one ever gives any evidence for, that he went to England and was a druid? Like, literally, what is the basis for that claim? Literally, what is the basis? Like, no one will ever, they'll just say it on the History Channel, and then they'll just not explain that shit at all. Like, did you guys know
that Hammurabi was an alien and granted his code by aliens?
Yeah.
No, what's funny is I have an entire, so in the book I'm writing, I have an entire chapter called "The Excellence in Modern Broadcasting" about this guy and his ex who are just in her dorm room in college. They start by watching the Disney Channel. Like, it's not called the Disney Channel, but it's like all of these fake like Disney Channel shows that sound like they could be real shows. I'll tell you guys at another time, like afterwards. It's actually going to make you guys laugh because people who read it have actually laughed out loud doing it. But there's an entire like scene where they're watching a show called Archaic Astronauts. And it starts, I'm sorry, I'm not even going to repeat it, but it starts going on about basically Hammurabi and Jesus being aliens and about how like Disney was divinely inspired by the alien Arcanides or whatever. But
okay, we got? The Aristocats. Well, it's aristocrats, so I already have to co-sign.
I want to address what Praxis just said in the chat, though. The Indian, Aryan, and Vedic traditions are probably among the top tier of their type. I would say yes, there is a richness to their tradition. It's definitely interesting to study. But the Indian Sudra or common caste are among the lowliest of their type. I would also co-sign that.
Okay. My take for the Aristocats, I've only seen it once when I was really little. It wasn't like a standout to me. It's definitely one of the more mediocre films. But it's, you still have to, I guess it's still a classic, but like it's not like, it's definitely like B-list in terms of Disney's movies. But it's basically about a mentally ill woman who wants to leave her fortune for her cats, which makes no sense. But besides the point, it's about a widowed cat who ends up marrying an Irish street cat. Like, isn't that
that is a bit of a subversion of the
cast? That is a bit of a subversion.
So, yeah. So it is cringe out of cringe. So
I mean, it does have some funny stereotypes, though.
No, but speaking of aristocrat, I remember, I don't know what this, but it was a funny scene from, I think it's the movie's called Ants, or
we'll get there.
Okay.
Ants is
No, yeah.
DreamWorks, not Disney.
Well, no.
No, but
because,
okay. No,
it was bought by Disney, so it's officially on this list.
No. It's DreamWorks.
Well, yeah, but it was bought.
is okay. If it's on this list, when we'll get to it, I'll talk about the funny scene.
You have Bug's Life, which was Pixar.
Wait, no. Where's that Bug's Life? Oh,
They came out around the same time to compete with each other because Jeffrey Katzenberg, got denied his position, and he got fired by Michael Eisner. Notice the names, guys: Michael Eisner, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and then Jeffrey Katzenberg created DreamWorks out of spite, created Ants to compete with A Bug's Life a month before it came out, then made Shrek, and then started funding the Young Turks. That is a true story.
What the hell? That is very interesting. But
it is actually they're actually going to make a movie out of that one day. It is actually really
okay. So do I tell the joke or not, lads?
Oh God.
Disavow.
If it's anti-Semitic, I'm going to disavow. Because
No. In Ants, there's this scene where wasps show up, and they're at like a picnic table, but the thing is that the ants, I think, but I couldn't. Whatever, right? And wasps show up, but the wasps are literally wasps, like white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, and they start like it's so highbrow. It took me a minute to realize what the joke was, but like they start being like, "Oh, we got to help these underprivileged bugs. We have to help them." And it took me a minute to and then I'm like, "Oh," and then I laughed for like 5 minutes. It was actually pretty good.
That was probably Ants because I don't remember that in A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're on the animated Robin Hood because I know you guys wanted to cover it.
Well, I'm sure I feel like different sides would have different interpretations for this. Libertarians would make like an argument that it's like libertarian because it's like anti-taxes, and then you have the left who are saying, "Oh, it's stealing from the rich and giving to the poor," and then you'd have reactionaries who are saying, "It's about the monarchy, bruh."
It's
a subject to interpretation, but then furries also like it, so that might kind of ruin it.
Yeah, no. Funny story. I was in like a history discussion group with this one guy. And the first thing he said to me was, "Hey, want to look a picture of I'm drawing my persona," and then said, Maid Marian in the animated Robin Hood is the sexiest thing I've ever seen."
Oh, no.
And
No.
like they are some foul people. May Allah protect us, indeed. But I mean, yeah, no. But I think in a world
I'm getting my gun from my drawer right now.
In a world without perversion, we could just have anthropomorphic animals in Disney films that, there's characters, they have romance and blah, 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 whatever, and we don't literally need to become degen Coomers with it, and it can just kind of be a sort of funny way of expressing an old human story. But no, furries have ruined our childhood, so, here we are, right? But,
yes, I agree with Kaiser Bob. Death to furries, and literally furries.
Inshallah.
I'll just say the furry revolution and its consequences has been a disaster to the human race.
Amen. But yes, so they're running with friars. So what is it named? Friar Tuck. So yes, they are a bunch of reactionary, Christian, high. They're serving their Chad King, Richard the Lionheart, not the beta male, whining about his mummy and he sucks on his thumb, John, who apparently he was a homosexual as well. And so in summation, Robin Hood is a based trad groiper. Enough said.
Fun fact, though, did you know that Robin Hood is actually a sequel / spin-off to the Jungle Book?
Oh,
you didn't know that because you do know that King John in the Jungle Book is Shere Khan. I mean, no, from Robin Hood is Shere Khan. His snake advisor is Ka. What's his name? Little John is Baloo. Did you not know this?
Okay. I guess I didn't. You really got me, man.
No, and then the guards are the buzzards who are singing like the Beatles song in the Jungle Book. Like, look at this up. They're serious. Like the it's the same voice actors and same designs.
Okay.
By the way, Brian, disavow. Richard the Lionheart was based. He went on crusade. Based.
Whoa. Who dissed him? Who dissed him?
It was Brian.
Hints of Richard. No. Disavow. He wasn't a gay man. He was just Sigma. Okay, he was just Sigma. It's just that simple. Okay, the reason he didn't have sex with his wife and he just took her to church, but even that he did it reluctantly, is because he was a Sigma male who just wanted to live and die for Christ, and that was it. Okay, he was based. Just live with it. Okay. Hey, that's man. That's a good tune. It is actually a good tune. I will give you that. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. Okay, next.
Yep, we're going.
That's the theme song.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I know what that shit is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which one? I'm trying to find the purple links.
The Rescuers. That should be next.
The Rescuers.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard that either.
It's about a groomer who kidnaps a little girl, and a married mice couple has to rescue a little girl from a groomer.
What's that one thing where it's like there are no cats in America?
No, the one with
the
one with the Jewish mice who have to escape the pogrom. That's actually what it is. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was the American Tale, but that was Don Bluth after he left Disney. All we need to say, Winnie the Pooh. Do we even need to say anything? It's just wholesome.
Yeah, it is pretty whole,some. Like we
this is like something.
No,
this is something.
No, I have read, not of my own volition, mind you, some very very sus Winnie the Pooh fan fiction, man. So I don't know if
that's fan fiction. Not
I told you, not of my own volition. It was forced upon me. Okay.
How? Okay. How was it forced upon you? Because this is like, it seems like you're rationalizing something.
I mean,
so, yeah. Who forced
do you want me to get? Do you really want me to get into this right here on stream?
I do.
Okay.
Why were you reading Winnie the Pooh fan fictions with like?
I wasn't reading. It was being read to me from my sister and her friend who were like in my house. Freaking
older or younger sister?
Younger sister, but I don't know. It's complicated, but she was like reading it aloud. And I was just trying to like mind my business and fucking.
Is your sister trad?
She's like she's basically all of her friends are paused, but she's like a Ben Shapiro white conservative who pretends to be Christian.
Is she over the age of 18? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Whoa. No, you know what? Honestly, you can have her straight up. She's all yours. Pump. I don't really care. She's a waste. She's
okay. Come on, guys. Like, so you're forced to hear this awful smut, this awful degradation of Winnie the Pooh. Did you at least like slap her and tell her not to ruin something wholesome?
I don't know. The fire comes and goes for me, but what can I say? I guess I just don't have the Faustian tread, beat up women spirit, all the time. But hey. But yes, in and of itself, it's wholesome, and there isn't really much to say. I don't recall specific plot deals about what. Also, Tigger, name award ceremony of the year. Like,
I know what you do. No, but I also will say there was back in like 2017, 2018, one of the only good like Disney live action movies that they did It was one with Ewan McGregor, who plays a grown-up Christopher Robin Milne, who the stuffed animals come to life, and he's like, "What the hell's going on, Pooh? You're back!" And it's like he introduces them to his kids, and that was actually a pretty good movie. I watched it.
I haven't watched it yet. I need to.
It was cute. I liked it. It was out of all of the Disney remakes, I think that probably
Intervention. God damn it, guys.
It was just. I think it was just called Christopher Robin, but it was cute.
Yeah, I need to watch it, but honestly, they should have had Ewan McGregor grow up his Jesus beard that he had for Obi-Wan for that.
Yeah, but I just like Ewan McGregor also as an actor. Like
we who doesn't like Ewan McGregor?
He was also
apparently he actually played Jesus in a movie, which I don't know why he was ever allowed to do that. But
he's like
because you don't like Scottish Presbyterians.
No, I just don't. Any movie about Jesus that isn't directed by Mel Gibson, Gibson just isn't for me.
Oh,
there are plenty.
I mean, that is fair.
Because Mel Gibson. No, Mel Gibson is apparently actually a really nice guy, but he just dealt with alcoholism, and that's why he was going through that. And alcoholism is a bitch.
No, I mean, I have family shit with that, right? But I guess that's
okay. We're not doing Star Wars. This does not count. It's owned by Disney, but it's not a Disney movie. Stop.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Please don't know.
What is it? What is it now? Come on.
Herbie the Love Bug.
You want to do the Love Bug?
We can do Herbie the Love Bug.
Never heard of it ever, not even once.
Oh, there's a rest.
Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. I guess. Do you really want to cover that?
Not really. I just have fond memories of Herbie the Love Bug. It's about a car that gets like two people together who hate each other and traps them inside them, and then they fall in love. It's a fun. That's the premise of the first one.
Sounds mildly wholesome, but yeah,
it is. It is. They made they made a few of them actually, and I loved them. It was like one of my favorite series as a kid.
Indiana Jones. I mean, we covered it the other night, but do you want to?
No,
no. Okay.
I thought we were just doing like the Disney animation films. Honestly.
I mean, I was just doing like all the famous like Disney films that we all remember, like going through chronological order. The Fox and the Hound. So
that's Kurt Russell's.
I don't remember crap about that. I'm gonna be honest.
It's about friends, I guess, and then it depends. It could be. It's basically like you can be friends no matter how different you are. But people might try to drive you away due to arbitrary hatred. Like
it's very unreactionary.
It is very unreactionary. But I do agree with But I do agree with the message. Unironically, it wasn't super woke, but it still had a message that like could resonate with woke people. It was It's a very centrist. It's a sensible centrist movie.
No. Funny thing. Using like the term woke, I'm at still like a 2018 dissident right level where like I use the word woke to mean like how high your power level is, and like sort of like the new normie con shit of like using it to mean intersectional leftism. I don't even use it that way. I use woke to mean basically good. So it's kind of weird every time when someone says it in the new way.
Fox and the Hound, though, does have beautiful animation, and it's kind of sad because it's about friends who grow apart, and it's not reactionary at all.
So what I kind of saw was as kind of reactionary in it, though, was at the end they realize that that they are fundamentally of two different ethnoses, and they separate their nations. They don't.
Yes,
they don't want
segregation forever.
They realize
segregation now, segregation Amara, segregation forever.
It's recognizing differences, but realizing that you can still get along.
Well, yeah, you can still be friends, but you have to be in separate nations. That's like the Fox and the Hound. So
Praxius, what do you think? Praxius, do you think we're gonna like stay on topic? Get the hell out of here, man.
Kurt Russell though. Kurt Russell is like I just found out recently he played the Fox in that movie, and that's pretty cool because I'm a big Kurt Russell fan. He should run for president on the Libertarian Party ticket because he's like the highest profile libertarian.
Okay, let's start getting to films that I even marginally remember.
Okay, well, that we did skip like a lot of them. Like we skipped Tron, even though it's kind of famous because none of us really watched it.
I never saw Tron, but like
yeah, never.
It was Pixar's first film technically.
The first Tron? Huh.
Yeah.
No,
Pixar. No, Pixar. Or was it Empire Strikes Back that was Pixar's first film? This is before they became an animation. They worked on the computer-generated stuff for these movies before they became a separate studio. It was originally a division of Lucasfilm.
Okay.
Man, politicrat with like the film industry history.
Howard the Duck. Can we do Howard the Duck?
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it. Somehow.
Yeah, I honestly never watched it, but other people did on the other panel.
It's about a duck who is from a planet of duck aliens, and the planet is shaped like an egg, and he gets transported to Earth, and he falls in love with a human woman.
Wait, isn't he a Marvel character?
Yes.
No, and it has that scene with the duck tits. No, I've seen a freaking video about this.
No, because the thing is that they ended up. He has a cameo. They brought him back, and he has a cameo in like Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
What? Oh my god!
No, yeah, they made him canon in like the MCU as a joke.
No.
Yes.
No.
They made him canon in the MCU. He's canon. They brought him back.
Oh my god!
It's funny for like it's like ironically good at this point, but it's not trad because it's about a duck falling in love with a woman.
Yeah, miscegenation. It's never good.
But I like ducks. I like anything with ducks. I'm like Jimmy Neutron's dad, where I have a very big affection for ducks, and I'm not even kidding. Oliver and Company. I remember that. It's Oliver Twist.
Okay. Yeah, literally like nobody watched it on the last panel, including myself. So if you want to give your insight.
So it's about like a cute 10-year-old redhead girl who finds a little kitty cat, and then the cat gets kidnapped by a Jew and his like 10 dogs.
Oh. Wow.
And then the cat's like a pit. Basically, they're criminals, and then the mafia ends up kidnapping the little girl. And like it's Charles Dickens, but with like animals. That's literally what it is.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. It was based off of Oliver Twist, but they made him a cat. And Billy Joel played the dog, which is interesting.
Okay.
It was like Disney's last movie before the Renaissance.
Yeah, I can tell also by like the style, but it's also like 1988, so it's like getting close to the Renaissance.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was like it's underrated. I think it's pretty underrated. And when it wasn't like amazing, but it's definitely better than a lot of the stuff that came out before that.
Damn
it. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is next.
Okay. This is a weird thing. Very similarly to Jaws and The Godfather, I've never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay. I've watched it, but I never really liked it.
It's a funny story. I was bored one night and I was gonna watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but then like my mom stepped in and said, "This is too sexualized."
What?
And she's like, "You're too young to watch this." I was like
How old
14 at the time. I was like 14.
So you couldn't watch a G-rated movie.
Moral of the story: my mom is a prude, but not even like the cool kind. So
what's her religion?
She's like marginally papist.
Okay. Well, let's continue on.
Last Crusade is very Christian. It's based.
I wish like he actually did reclaim Jerusalem, but we
it
was no, but the whole
familiar.
concept was that the Holy Grail is, even though it's a holy artifact, even though the Holy Grail is a holy artifact, it is at the very end of the day, artifacts are still material objects, no matter how wonderful and important they are. And basically the love of Christ is important because, like, I mean, you need to understand, like, Indiana Jones is obviously, like, they don't really like spell it out or say it very much, but he's clearly a religious person. Like, after seeing everything that he's seen,
I mean,
I would say.
I mean, if we're gonna wait. First off, I didn't know this was Indiana Jones was a Disney movie. But if this is gonna be on the list, if this is on the list, then I mean, there was one guy did a very good video on. I mean, Spielberg's entire filmography is filled with basically Jewish revenge porn against the Nazis. Like the scene where the dude's eyes get melted by the thing of the Covenant. There's one scene in Saving Private Ryan where when the Germans are being burned by the flamethrower, there's a screech noise that sounds like a rat.
I'm not a fan of the Nazis, so like I really can't like fault him for that.
I'm not a fan of dehumanizing German people either. So it's I'm just gonna have to disavow my
I'm
man.
fine with dehumanizing evil people, but their ethnicity doesn't matter.
But literally, Spielberg does just dehumanize all.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. No, you're right. Like, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying that, like, it dehumanizes them, but I just don't have problem with dehumanizing evil people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I do want to say
Indiana Jones is either Presbyterian or Episcopalian. I don't know which one. Because his dad's Scottish, but at the same time, in Indiana Jones 4, he gets married with a Book of Common Prayer. So he's one of the two.
He's a sellout, is what he is.
Well, okay, I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the new one, but I'm gonna go see it because it's an event.
But then, wait. How do you explain the Holy Grail with there being aliens in that later movie?
Oh God!
Because I don't know, like
literally aliens.
Are we going with like the C.S. Lewis?
Yes.
Yes. So
shut up and go with C.S. Lewis. Yes.
Yeah. Little Mermaid.
So it's about a 16-year-old girl.
Literally Faustian bargain too.
Well, it is about a Faustian bargain.
I love it's actually in the description too. Like that's
does it actually say that?
Yeah, it's literally like right here in the description.
So it's basically she wants to be where the people are. She wants to see them dancing, walking around on their feet, flipping your fins. You don't get too far. Their legs are required for jumping and dancing and strolling along the street, up to where they walk and up to where they run, up to where they stay all day in the sun. She wants to be wandering free because she wishes they could be part of that world. It's the Faustian longing for something.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've just I don't even think of it as like, oh, this high, so fat. No. I literally, this sort of thing is like, it's sort of like this overdone of trope of like, oh my God, Dad, like I want to go see the world, and like, oh my God, this old town is like so boring. It's Tangled. It's in this. It's in almost every Disney movie with like a princess in it at this point. Like, when are we gonna get a Disney princess who like just wants to stay home and is like a serious we're never going to get it, that's the answer, but we should, or at least we should get a film where it's like a Disney princess goes out to see the world and then ever notice how never anything bad happens to them, like I don't know, never raped, not even once. I don't know if I can believe that. But yeah, so that's my take.
but it's also like the because she literally does make like a pact with a demon to go.
But Ursula, here's the thing. This is the funniest thing. So we have people on the left who are saying Ursula is such a great version of trans representation.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
god!
yes, she is. Absolutely, I agree
Wow.
with you.
That
Yeah.
I mean, the left when the left says shit like that, it amuses me to no
It's
end.
a
But
cell phone.
Yep.
truly no, but like I mean, it's like yeah. So yeah, it's like the entire subtext of if Little Mermaid is basically, remember kids, you can make deals with demons as long as you try to undercut the demon later and win with the power of true love, which
Based.
is
Based.
no,
Yeah.
disavow.
I mean, it's kind of like but like
You
at
can
the
trick a
end of
demon, but you
at
can't
the end
trick
of
The
Faustus.
original Hans Christian Andersen, it was explicitly Christian. Dave, the distributist, basically said that we should reject Disney and basically return to tradition a la Hans Christian Andersen's little source material. Making it explicitly not Christian Christian, not explicitly Christian, was the first step to getting melanated Ariel. Right? But either way, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to, would I allow my kid to watch some of these films? I guess, but still subtextually not based, as they say.
So, okay, I have a
I
question
cannot
though.
co-sign.
Because it's getting late, can we stop like at Tangled so we could do like a last one tomorrow? Because I have a lot to say about Frozen.
Okay.
I have a lot to say about Tangled, actually.
Okay, let's stop right at after the Princess and the Frog. You will do Tangled tomorrow. I will do Frozen tomorrow. Because
How many parts are we gonna do with this?
All I'm going to say is Frozen. I literally believe that I can make Frozen the next OK sign. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow, you're
We're
something
going to Beauty
else,
and the Beast.
politicrat.
Okay, Beauty and the Beast.
I can fix him. Next.
Literally the movie.
Literally, yes.
It's a good movie, but it's basically I Can Fix Him the movie.
Which honestly, I wish women that damaged and self-confident would try to give me a whirl. But hey,
No, but seriously,
okay.
no. I thought it was. I thought a funny. I had a joke about a funny sequel idea for Beauty and the Beast about Gaston's little friend who ends up like getting forced out of his home and moving to Paris, and he starts a movement called the Gastonites, who
oh my god,
teams up with the Jacobites, and they like want revenge, and so it's basically just about the French Revolution. And so the little guy, his second in command is a certain artillery lieutenant from Corsica. And it's just this. Think about Beauty and the Beast, like Belle and God, what's his name? Is it Adam? They that they have a happily ever after, but it doesn't last that long. You know what year it takes place? It takes place in 1780. They got a solid 9 years.
yeah, no, but okay, so what's his name? Brian Baru, could take it as a love, using it to inspire him to better himself. Well, yes, that is a rather wholesome interpretation, but my inner MGTOW is going to have to disavow. The idea of a woman inspiring a man to be a better man is disgusting to me. Get out of here. No, but seriously, I don't know.
Okay. As much as I like Aladdin, it's not trad at all.
Yeah,
oh no, yeah, it's totally AIDS. It's totally AIDS.
It's a good movie. It is a fantastic movie, but like it is subversive.
Honestly, I watched it recently, and the whole time I was thinking, I would respect the peasant character. I don't even remember his name. If he would stop being such a pussy about it. Just say, hey, just whisper into the bitch's ear, hey, babe, I'm secretly that peasant that we were flirting with later. So how about we just bang on the Sultan's dime and I could be a prince or whatever. Boom. Simple as. Where there doesn't even need to be any problem. But then he's like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. And she's like, oh, I always love you, even if you're a poor little piece of shit who's covered in shit all the time. Oh my, it doesn't even matter. Whatever. No, but that once the fat, short Sultan guy who's like, based. He's based. Everyone else is cringe, but he's based.
Also, so like the film, Genie made the film. It would not be nearly as regarded as like today if it weren't for Robin Williams. Also, they censored the original. Like, oh, hold on, it was hold on. So it was so originally the original line
Gaston Swarthy. I resent that,
I just-
Praxius' girlfriend.
Okay. I just want to say so they changed the song in like on the home video. They changed the song on the home video. The one they changed it to is oh, imagine a land that's a faraway place where the caravan camels roam, where you wander among every culture and tongue. It's chaotic, but hey, it's home. Do you know what the original theatric version was?
What?
Can you imagine a land that's a faraway place where the caravan camels roam, where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face? It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Based.
Also, Aladdin is caste miscegenation. So true. So true.
No, it was. Yeah, it's just. No, I just love it. It's where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face, but it's accurate. This is like literally like Iraq in the 8th century or whatever.
Well, or I mean India with like the architecture and shit.
But, no, okay. I think
it's unmistakably Muslim Arabia culture.
It's basically supposed to be like a mix, kind of. But fun fact:
it is among the great people of the Ummah.
The original Aladdin, the original Aladdin story, actually takes place in Western China.
It's kind of cool.
Aladdin is a Uyghur in the original story.
So like the Xinjiang province or something like that far west.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to cover Muppets Christmas Carol?
No, absolutely not.
I have one no.
I love it, but no. I do think Michael Caine is the best Scrooge.
Wait,
I
Nightmare. Nightmare on what is that thing called?
Christmas. That's a good one.
No. What is that? Nightmare Before Christmas. That's actually very deep. Where he's like, oh man, I want to try something new, and then it's like, oh, I can't just become Santa Claus. What the fuck am I thinking? I'm gonna ruin Christmas.
He ruins Christmas.
By basically, so remember, guys, stay in your lane. Don't try anything new. Just be who you are, and don't beat yourself over about it. Innovation is a sin from Shaitan, and all that good stuff.
Also, it's literally it's the evil perverting the good, and evil can only pervert good. It can't innovate.
And then remember,
I wouldn't even say Halloween is evil. I mean, isn't the villain like the bug guy?
No, Halloween's a Christian holiday.
I'm just saying, like,
even Halloween Town in the movie has a church. The town has a church in it. It's haunted.
And he's like, what's like the guy who's like made of bugs?
Oh, evil Big Boogie or whatever, Boogeyman. But they call him like Big Boogie or something. The black guy.
Also, having a black villain? What? That's crazy. No.
Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, now we're getting into these like random. Oh, never mind, The Lion King.
Very. Standard Return of the King. there's like a weird thematic thing because it's like instead of like because the plot can't decide whether or not he's trying to get over his guilt that he's responsible for his father's debt, but then it said, "Oh, well, actually, you were never really guilty." So it's not like overcome your pain, overcome your guilt for the better of your people. It's, yeah, whatever, reactionary
It's
monarchist themes. But there's
it's
also that scene where they literally feed the uncle to the fucking lions, or the hyenas. I mean, fucking based.
it's
This movie is a
also it's. Oh, I'm sorry.
cosign, but with some plot issues, I guess. With like so go on.
I was just gonna say it's basically Macbeth from Malcolm's perspective.
Yeah, I actually thought about it that way.
It's Macbeth from Malcolm's perspective. Scar being Macbeth in this case.
Mm-hmm.
You have the most brain dead take is when people say it's Hamlet, which pisses me off. There are like there's barely any similarities between. Like that is the high school English teacher take. You'll have like this 25-year-old young woman, maybe just out of college, teaching high school English class, saying, "Oh yes, we're going to watch The Lion King in class now because we're going to read Hamlet." No, don't. If you're going to read Macbeth and then say this is like, I don't know, like just the whole Hamlet thing does not work. Like basically, I'm a Shakespeare nerd. I always have been. Anybody who says Hamlet is the Lion King, you automatically like tell me that you're not a serious person. Like I will not listen to anything else you have to say because it's clear you don't know your Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this sounds like a very autistic like take that I have right now, but that is actually one of my biggest pet peeves when people compare Hamlet to the Lion King. It is Macbeth from Malcolm's perspective. I was a theater kid. I was in Macbeth. I know Macbeth. I've read like every Shakespeare play. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Okay, very very passionate. Ugh.
Okay,
Roxas makes a
so
good point though.
what do you say? In short, Scar equals egalitarian. Yeah, he does use like the dregs, the untouchables, the hyenas, and raises them up to an improper place in the cast. So yeah.
Who said that? Jeremy Irons did a great job of Scar.
Yeah, he did. Treating them better than natives, ruling like a dictator. Yeah, Simba, divine right king. Yeah, I agree. Now which movie is next? No, we're skipping Santa Claus. Literally, he subverts Christmas by killing Saint Nicholas.
The original script had him shooting him with a shotgun, thinking he was a robber.
Oh God. Do we want to cover a Goofy movie or go to Pocahontas?
Oh,
yeah, straight to Pocahontas.
No. Let's skip Pocahontas and do Goofy movie, because Goofy movie is literally about a father and a son who are grieving after the death of the wife/mother.
Literally never seen it. Never seen it in my entire life. No idea what we're talking about.
So it takes place after Goofy's wife dies, and him and his son are estranged, and it's about them trying to rebuild their relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually forgot that she died. I just thought that she left or something, but that's actually better that she died because then
it was implied that they didn't directly say it, but it's implied that she had died and their relationship was strained. And it basically, like, it did it with it's like a baby movie, but like it was actually smart about it. Is it like could appeal to adults too?
Mm-hmm.
It was also really funny. I remember liking it.
All right, now we're going to Pocahontas.
Worst Disney movie ever made.
Savages, barely even human.
That was a good song, but okay. My take has always been for Pocahontas. It's not a bad story, but I am from old Virginia blood. This is not an accurate depiction of Virginia or the earliest colonization of Virginia. What they should have done, they could have kept the same story and they could have made it like Spanish conquistadors in the Yucatan or something. It would have been better.
Yeah.
But like the one good part was Russell Means as Powhatan, who was like this based Lakota guy. Who was like who ran for libertarian president, or he was Ron Paul's vice presidential candidate in 1989, and he played Pocahontas' father in this movie.
No, you know what actually broke me? I was like, I tried to rewatch this recently, and it took me a minute to notice, wait a minute, that's Mel Gibson as the main character.
That's based. But
right?
but the thing is, but John Smith was actually a grifter in real life. Half of his stories weren't even true. He was basically this fat, like bearded alcoholic who just lied all the time.
Well,
he was a piece of shit, John Smith. Christopher Newport was the true hero of Jamestown.
That has to be the whitest name I've ever heard, too.
John Smith.
No, John Smith.
Christopher Newport was based. He also he was a privateer who had a hook for a hand. Christopher Newport.
Yeah, so I guess you can tell us Virginia war stories later, but as the whole, oh my God, oppressed, and oh my God, peace can only come through miscegenation. Burn in the eternal fire of Shaitan. You damn dirty liberal.
I am related to the bad guy from Pocahontas, though. John Ratcliffe. He's an ancestor of mine.
Calling for the total Indian death.
No, but I mean, yeah. So we need a live action remake of this movie, still with Mel Gibson, where basically the Indians are the enemies, and only the race treason of Pocahontas and the mercy of the main character, John Smith, played by Mel Gibson, saves their loathsome race from immediate extermination. I will buy 10 tickets, okay? I have needs.
All right. Toy Story. It's technically owned by Disney now.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember. The Bad Kid, something. They do this a lot, where it's like, for example, in the movie, what was the movie about? It was about emotions inside the little girl.
Inside Out, yeah.
Inside Out, where in that movie, so they have a thing going. There's a family, there's a community, and then there's one person where it doesn't like. So Joy didn't like sadness in Inside Out, and just like that, Woody doesn't like.
Joy was a bitch.
But in this, Woody doesn't like Buzz Lightyear, and then they learn to. So this is kind of weird because it shows that basically kids animation, they're recycling the same basic plot every 5 minutes. It's like, oh, it's someone who is reviled by society but then learns to get accepted by their new family, or oh, the main character rejects this foreigner but then learns that they need them. And I mean, yeah, so, and that's that's kind of like a sort of a subversive thing. Like maybe what if the thing of the movie was that actually, sorry Buzz Lightyear, you don't belong with us, sorry, and you can get destroyed by Sid. But no, I guess we don't live in a perfect world. So
also, Sid wasn't a bad guy, he was just a little boy. That's all Sid was. Yeah. He was a little boy who wanted to figure out how things work, and he liked cool things. He thought it would be cool to get a rocket, send a spaceman into space.
And yeah, and his shirt is cool. Okay, I wish I had a skull shirt when I was a kid.
Like he was probably like a 12-year-old in the 90s who really liked like Megadeth, who is the head of the band was known Christian David Mustaine.
And we already know. I mean, come on. I mean, later in the movies, we already know that Andy is actually a beta soy boy cuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Just look at his physiognomy. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, maybe that shirt gets replaced with a Totenkopf shirt later on. Do we want to touch Muppets Treasure Island?
Well, we've done all.
Never heard of it.
It's good. I love Muppet Treasure Island, but we don't need to. But it's
we don't need to reiterate it.
Tim Curry plays Long John Silver, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
I recently watched the '90s Muppet trilogy with my family over Christmas. Christmas Carol, Treasure Island, and Muppets from Space. So,
okay. James and the Giant Peach. Any comment?
Shit.
Haven't seen this movie in years, but it's the guy who did Coraline. Also, Roald Dahl was canceled recently for being an anti-Semite.
Oh.
Delightful.
Oh, that is delightful. But okay. I mean, some other people on the other panel actually had a lot to talk about it. So if you're in the audience, go watch the previous one if you want to hear about it. But Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, I love this one. This is a good one. It's a beautiful.
I don't know. There's like the whole meme of authoritarian Tradcath lusting over the brown girl. What did Disney mean by this, right? But no, I mean, right? But I don't know. There is sort of, there's the unappreciated misfit trope, but I also like how he does. For the most part, literally, it's just what's his name, gaslighting. Like the people will revile you, but actually they're mostly ambivalent to him at best. Like there was that one scene where they made fun of him as a jester.
But that was because it was a tradition to make fun of the ugliest person, but they loved him anyway.
Yeah, so it's like at the end of the day, I mean, basically the judge was basically just a giant I don't know, pain in the ass for no reason, and then he dude, either just you don't need to be conflicted over your lust for gypsies, okay? Just
what's interesting is they had to change the original script of the movie because the original script actually had it was closer to the source material because in the original story there were two Frollos. There was Jean and Claude. Jean Frollo was the judge. And he was basically just this alcoholic piece of shit. And then you had Claude Frollo, who was the bishop, the archbishop.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, the characters were combined in the movie, but originally Frollo was the archbishop. But they were like, okay, we don't want to offend Catholics, so we have to be like PC, and we got to make
pussy.
So they decided to be politically correct and not make him a priest, and they made him I mean, it makes sense, I guess. They didn't want to offend.
Honestly, no. You know what?
They should have gone all out. I think they should have.
I remember I was banned from a leftist server for because apparently using the term papist, which I use just kind of not even as an insult, but just as as they said it was a slur.
Yeah.
So I wish, and I'm a cradle Catholic, right? But I wish that America was still basically super anti-Catholic, 1840s kind of natives were like, oh my god, the Pope's trying to take over America shit, instead of this gay ass, oh my god, are you transphobic? Blah, 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 blah. I will take the crazy Calvinist any day of the week. I'll even take Pastor Jim Bob from the Pentecostal strip mall church over motherfucking.
I don't see a difference. I think that they are functionally the same thing.
Wait, Calvinists and Pastor Jim Bob, or
no. I just say
Pastor Jim Bob.
No. The thing is about woke people. Woke is, for the lack of a better term, is basically the logical. It is like the logical conclusion of the Second Great Awakening and Protestantism.
Oh shit.
Yes, I
You know,
agree.
no, actually, yeah, no, there is because like even like or what is it called? The heresy called Montanism, where it's
Monotheism.
basically constant emotionalism and like, oh Jesus, we love you forever. It's or like how that's sort of hyper emotionalism. You see it in the left, you see it in like North Korea, where the last person to stop clapping or crying after the death of Kim Jong Il is like assassinated or some shit, or oh, do you support Black Lives Matter and trans rights and blah blah blah. So yeah, there is actually but no, okay, now we're getting on a whole nother thing. But yeah, so they should have, but yeah, as it stands, somewhat subversive, but wasn't the main character who falls in love with the gypsy chick Aryan? So there, that has one thing going for it. So.
Okay, the thing is, in the book though, that character was not a good guy. He was an asshole who basically tried to rape her. Like
consent is a lie anyway. So you know what's wrong with a little bit of struggle snuggle.
But either way though, but Hunchback of Notre Dame, great movie. I remember my mom was taken aback when she took me as a baby and my little cousin to go see it. She was like, oh my, what is this scene? Like, what is this guy doing? She told me after the fact about how she was like, this shouldn't be for kids, because that's what my mom was.
Hellfire. That's the one.
That is
good
a great
thing
song.
That movie gave us is Hellfire.
Beata Maria, I know I am a righteous man.
All right.
Okay.
So
where the entire fucking character of him is literally just the biggest stereotype of the Pharisees the world has ever seen.
I just have a fun fact for you. Would you ever? So Hercules.
Honey, you mean Huncules?
Yes, Huncules. Get this. So imagine a world where Hunger the Dire Merchant, Paul Fahrenheit, Closington.
Oh God.
Closington and the Politicrat with a bunch of other people all sat down and spent about an hour and a half watching Hercules. That is the world that we currently live in.
I zoned out as soon as you said Paul Fahrenheit.
we watched Hercules on Disney Plus while we were drunk after our white elephant over Christmas at an undisclosed location on the East Coast after getting hibachi. One of the best weekends of my life, but we ended by watching Hercules.
Yeah, tell us about your, girl power sleepovers another time, dude. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Hercules.
No, you mean Huncules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
I kind of hate like the trope of making Hades like Satan all the time in media.
Good one.
Well,
Hades
I don't know.
It is sort of a
how you say it is a sort of Christian anachronism, which in a way could be considered a good thing, but also like as it stands, Hades is basically the least crazy of all the gods, by our current standards. He was like Zeus was a Coomer rapist, psychopath, egomaniac.
Okay. Aphrodite was fine. She cheated on Hephaestus, yes. But the thing is, whenever she took mortal form and fell in love with a human, she would stay with him for life, and she was super loyal.
Yeah, nothing better than a loyal mistress. I mean,
but she'd marry them too. She'd be like, "I'm a princess. I'm gonna marry you.
Dude,
I'm gonna give you your children."
I honestly, Hephaestus, like I know whatever. He's ugly. He's like the downtrodden guy, whatever. But I mean, he was done wrong, man. Like
He was.
what was that one time he tried to like rape Athena and then created some random monster when his seed fell on Gaia and created like a, I mean, myths like imagine like so a god busts and like it gets on Mother Earth and it has a baby. This is how crazy myths were, man. What the
I
hell?
love this. I love the Greek mythology because
But
the thing
yeah,
is, they
so
all
in the
mean
movie,
something. They're all meant to mean. They're not crazy because each one has a specific message it's trying to convey.
no. Honestly, I would say some of the Greek, Egyptian, and other Eastern sort of pagan. I don't want to say all of them, but like a good chunk, like a sizable of the chunk of the ones we have access to, right? So what's the analogy people give is like they're like superheroes are like modern day mythology. They're like a story that gives context. It gives like so Batman that says something about our current culture values, but original Spider-Man, and then you have like modern MCU and like really bad fan fiction. That's like the shit where like Zeus becomes a swan and has sex with a chick, right? So you have like the defining moments, the mythology that underpins like the fire of Prometheus that has like a message that has like a deep resonating thing, and then you have the fan fiction, and that is like the shit where like Zeus goes off the fucking wall.
That's an interesting take. That's you know what? I'm going to give that one to you. That is an interesting way of looking at it.
But yeah, as the movie goes,
It's a good one. I like it.
It's wholesome enough, I guess.
I'd say it's not. It's generic in the sense where it's like, oh yes, he's just reclaiming his title as a god, his rightful title.
Also, him being him being like rejected by society, being super strong, is unrealistic.
No, it's an allegory for people.
A super strong person that would destroy everything by like just like hitting it or like could break a man's back by slap on the shoulder. He wouldn't be feared. He would be worshipped as like a god.
The thing is though, it is kind of realistic in the sense like, you know how like usually smarter kids get bullied in high school. Like if you're smart, you're a target. You have a target on your back.
No, the fags get bullied in high school. Okay. Like honestly, this is another thing. This is not we're no longer on Disney films. But I'll just finish my tangent with saying that, like honestly, the whole '80s '90s obsession with like the nerds versus the vengeance thing, the jocks. I used to be a nerd, but now I've realized that the jocks deserve to rule and the nerds will learn to serve or die. Simple as, okay? You don't deserve the girl.
I think the nerd jock dichotomy is just stupid, especially because like I was both. I mean, I played 4 sports in high school, but I was also like a quote unquote nerd, I guess. I don't identify with that now. Like I used to unironically identify as a nerd, but that was like super cringe because that was before nerd, like just the concept of nerd became stupid. But yeah, no, this was like early 2010s.
I don't even think nerds even exist because it's basically just normalized, right? So used to be video games, used to be superheroes, everyone's into that, right? But like the idea of like the oh my god, I know all this stuff and oh my don't you people know anything about insert random secret knowledge that therefore I'm better than you? Yeah, but can you throw a football? But can you get the love of a woman?
Yeah, you see, I like Praxis' point. Be like Plato. Be both a nerd and a jock.
Yes.
Well, yeah, ideally yes, but if we're gonna do the '80s dichotomy of the stupid beefcake who's like neglectful to his girl, and the nerd who like has a heart of gold, but his entire motivation is just bitterness to the jock. The answer is the jocks. Like, let's be real. Okay,
no, do you know what I'd like? I'd like a guy who works out. He's like really good looking. He's really fit, cares a lot about his fitness, but he also gets straight A's. He has a lovely girlfriend who he's sweet to. He wants to wait till marriage.
Oh my god!
No, he's really nice. He plays World of Warcraft on his free time.
But is he racist though? That's what we really need to know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The thing is, all around, he's like a nerd. He's a jock. but he's just like a good, upstanding. That is the ideal person right there, and that is Hercules. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
No, I was kidding when I said that, but what's funny? Funny thing about Hercules is that back in like 2008, when we were at a state on summer vacation at a resort in South Carolina, my brother was 4 at the time. And so we had Hercules on VHS, and he would watch it over and over and over again, like every day. And
Mulan.
That entire trip, he'd walk up to everybody and say, "Hey, did you know I can go the distance? I can go the distance. I can go the distance." It was the funniest thing.
okay, yeah.
No, okay. So Mulan, the Hun villain. The villain is based. So it's a chick doing, oh, I can be the best. I can anything you can do. I can do better crap. But there is also like the fighting for our country, loyalty to her father, Confucian values. So there's just enough trad DNA to make it bearable. You know, I mean, even medievals kind of liked playing with the idea of like, ha ha ha, what if like girls wore armor and had swords? Of course, they didn't literally have like girl bosses, but like there was this one story that was popular among medievals where it's like, oh, a castle was under siege and all the men had gone away, so the ladies dressed up and started walking guards so that they thought the castle was fully manned, so they couldn't give it siege, even though they could have taken the castle because they didn't have any knights or something like that, right? So ultimately, it's not unbearable, but it is a little bit cringe. Also, what's that one scene at the end of it where it's like, a girl like that doesn't come around every dynasty. Go get her. And also, like that one guy who thought he was gay, he's like, whew, as soon as she finds out she was a woman.
Oh my god! But like part of the trad DNA in this too is like but she doesn't just like girl boss out and like go out immediately. She she prays to her ancestors, like praying to the saints and like ask for intercession, and they literally send like a
Mushu.
spirit to help her out.
Yeah. No. Plus, also, she goes back to being feminine in the end.
Mm-hmm. She embraces her role.
Also, by the way, so I've done like a deep study, and I've determined that even though the original story of Mulan takes place in the 3rd century AD, the movie itself, even though it's a bit anachronistic, it takes place during the Qin dynasty, and that is Shi Huangdi, who is the emperor, and Mulan's father fought in the war. It was the Warring States period, and that's the war that he's a veteran of. I did it. Yeah, I did it. I made it back when I was on
Yes,
Reddit. I made a demo post about it.
probably one of the most intimidating villains of this era of Disney. The Hun guy, just like he haunts my nightmares.
I just love how many men does it take to deliver a message? 1, and they shoot the second messenger.
Also, like the effeminate bitch-made Chinese bureaucrat versus like the Chad emperor, an excellent dynamic.
Also,
you've ruined my slippers.
Also, the Chad military officer as well.
Because people don't the Chinese, they're at like how the Chinese actually saw it. They had the opposite view. They thought that like the bureaucrat, oh, the smart eunuch merchant, he's cool, he's loyal. Yeah, I can use him. But you send the dumb drunks to the army, so it's sort of a little bit of foreign attitude seeping in. But it's the Chinese were stupid. That's the moral of the story. So. But yeah, so good movie overall.
Hot take though, I do think it is actually my favorite of the Renaissance, Mulan.
Yeah,
a little subversive.
It's pretty good overall though. Like it has a lot of tread elements in it to make up for the cringe. Okay.
No, I just thought of a random question. If you could make your own Disney movie, what would be the culture you'd be taking from, and what would be like the story or theme? Just a
French
theme.
Revolution. I thought about this. French Revolution.
No, you know what I would do? It would be like some country that was analogous to like a Cold War Soviet state.
I
don't know. I do the French Revolution.
Because they avoid any sort of like, they'll have kings, they'll have queens, but they'll sort of always avoid any political implication like the plague. I think that's cringe. I think that not that they should be like doing their pause gay shit, but like, you know, like we were talking about earlier with like Aladdin, where the Arabs were still barbarians who would cut off your ear if you look at them wrong or whatever it said.
They'll cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably do the story of Siegfried. That's
a good one.
Who's Siegfried?
It's a Germanic legend.
Bruh.
Yes, I don't know every single.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want from me? Okay, I'm an American citizen.
Okay.
I'm a Yank.
But like, if we're gonna get through this, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
And you can research it. A Bug's Life. So.
Trad, because it's about yes, they have their own weird succession rules, where it's like matriarchal and everything, but at the same time, ants have always been matriarchal. And so it's just them upholding their own ant tradition, which has a precedent for them. But also at the same time, so the main bug goes out and he's like, I want to be an individual. I want to go out and like be with the freaks. And so he finds like all the freaks. And yes, they have their purposes and everything. But at the end, they realize, you know what? As a group, as a culture, we are stronger together.
Yeah, it does.
So yes, you might have like some sort of like lefty libertarian who's like, oh no, man, collectivism is bad, man. Like all individual, like I don't know, it's like some Ayn Rand type.
I don't even.
But in reality,
it's
like no, collectives are important. But it's also about like you can be an individual, but also serve the collective.
This movie is basically a useful misfit trope. Oh, Shrek is reviled, but don't you know he's actually a man of class who's good at cooking and he's a man of culture. Oh, don't you know this nerdy inventor who keeps destroying all your food supplies is actually the secret to saving the colony? Yeah, whatever. It's all the same crap. We've been there, done that. Lame, cringe, disavow.
One of the differences with Shrek is basically the entire movie of Shrek is basically a criticism of eminent domain.
Is it? I mean, that's a nice meme because haha, they're confiscating all the land. But I don't know. If anything, wait a minute, hold up.
I'm gonna make an April Fool's video joke about that for my channel.
Lord Farquaad is actually kind of doing like apartheid. So.
You know what? You know how Lord Farquaad got his name? You know it's a play on words, right?
No, not quite.
Lord Fuckwad.
Oh, okay. You got me.
Okay.
That's totally intentional.
Tarzan.
Genesis did the score. It was a pretty good soundtrack. Or Genesis did the soundtrack, and it was pretty good.
Man, you and your film history, impromptu film history, politicrat. Not even an insult. Actually, kind of like the most high quality thing that this stream will ever fucking produce. So,
well, thank you. I mean, I'm not gonna like avow that comment, but I will thank you.
But yeah, so I don't know, Tarzan, kind of. Yeah, no, like I said before, the idea of like the man raised in the wild, I kind of like that archetype, that idea. So, there's the whole, oh my god, the evil British colonizer thing going on. But no, in general, I would say this movie is good. The civilized woman is saved by the uncivilized man, and there's like a connection there, and they sort of balance each other out. So yeah, there's enough here to.
So in the original story, though, that the difference is, so Jane is actually an American, and Tarzan is a British lord named like Lord Andrew Clayton III. So, and he goes back to England at some point, takes his title up, but then he's like, "No, I'm just gonna leave somebody in charge of my place for me on my behalf,
and then return to the jungle."
He's like, "Yeah, this is boring." He's just like, God save the queen, but I'm going back to like. But then he goes back and he becomes like the governor of the colony, but he just messes around. And then apparently he discovers dinosaurs living underneath Africa.
I could believe that, honestly.
Yeah, but Edgar Rice Burroughs was like the original author. He was like the original great sci-fi author because he also wrote this book series about a Confederate officer who gets like transported to Mars and becomes the king.
Dude, what the hell was this guy on, and where do I find it?
No, but it was called. Hold on, what was it? It was called The Princess of Mars, about Confederate Colonel John Carter of Virginia.
Okay.
Wait a minute! Oh my God! Didn't they make a recent thing about that, John Carter?
They made a movie maybe 12 years ago.
But they didn't make it based. We already know that much.
It was a good movie, but it was a flop because its advertising sucked. I remember I saw it in theaters because I knew I'd read like some of the original serials as a kid, and like nobody else was in the theater, and I was like, oh, I feel like I was like, this is good source, but I feel like it was advertised very poorly.
George Wallace back to Yankee Land. Lay down, boys, take a nap. Lay down, boys, take a nap. Yeah, okay. Before I go full Johnny Reb, let's.
Oh no, yeah, don't go more Johnny Reb, but yeah.
Okay. Do we want to do Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2 is the best one in the series, but let's just keep going.
We did cover Tigger movie last one. I literally said it's like Return to Your Own Nation. Tigger's trying to find his own people, his own nation.
Tigger Nation.
Yep.
That was a cute one though, because it turns out like the family he needed all along, it was just his friends, because he didn't really have a family.
But it was still that longing for being part of his own nation, being part of his own ethnos.
No, but the thing is, it's the part of like you're the last part of your nation. What are you going to do if you're like the remnant?
No. That's and that's something that I think we do need to play with more on the whatever the hell we are, I guess, right? Like we say, oh yeah, well, if the if fighting against the replacement or whatever, but so say we wake up tomorrow and like we're the last straight white man on earth or whatever, right? Does it end there? What do we do? What?
The Tigger movie is basically I Am Legend, but Pooh Bear.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to do Dinosaur?
Isn't it like he's an egg? It's a dino who gets raised by monkeys. That's it.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
But I do have a fun fact though. The main theme for the movie Dinosaur is like strangely epic, and has been used for the past ever since it came out. It's been used in a lot of blockbuster Hollywood trailers because nobody remembers what it's from. But it was like really good, so no one's gonna recognize. But it's from like a movie no one saw, so people aren't gonna recognize it. But basically, it's like stock trailer music now.
Burr, 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 burr. Is it that? Is that what it's? Did they steal that from Dinosaur?
I forget how it goes, but it is a catchy song.
Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, every trailer sounds the same at this point.
I saw this in theater with my dad. This movie was funny as shit.
Honestly, it doesn't. I watched it. It was like kind of. Honestly, it didn't land as much as I kind of expected it to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a humorless asshole.
It was originally supposed to be a way more serious movie called like Empire of the Sun, but it went through production hell, and they had to change it. But they turned it into a buddy comedy instead. I would have loved to see the original plan, like what they were going for, but what they ended up making in the end, The Emperor's New Groove, it's a good movie about like friendship and about how it doesn't matter, because in the end, it's basically they're from two different castes. One is the emperor, one is the peasant, but they both learn from each other, and they both can learn to appreciate the role that the other person has in society. And it shows even though you're a different castes, like even though you have different duties in life, you can still learn from each other. You can still learn the important role that the other person has and kind of be better for it. But then Yzma is just a jealous bitch.
The standard dark woman who is jealous and spiteful trope.
I just love the idea where it's like, you know what I will do? I will get him a poison, and this poison will shrink him, and then I will get his I'll turn him into a llama, and then I'll shrink him, and then I'll put the llama into a box, and then I'll put the lid on the box, and then I'll wrap up the box, and then I'll put that into a larger box, and then I will mail it to myself, and then when they deliver it to me, I will smash it with a sledgehammer. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
So what we were doing last night was we were physiognomy checking the witch, and we were like, oh, she stands in for this certain ethno-religious group. That's what we were trying to say.
I don't even know. No, come on. Let's not put too much on the children of Abraham. I mean, there are plenty of white Karen hags who need to get checked by their husbands. But
that is true. But that was kind of like the running joke last night.
Atlantis, Lost Empire.
I at least remember watching this.
It's very Faustian because it's about searching for lost civilizations, and I like that it takes place during World War I, because the entire point was because World War I was the early 1900s was when Atlantis mania actually was a thing in real life. It was after Ignatius Donnelly wrote his theory about Atlantis. It was when the search for lost civilizations was at its height. So they got the era right. That is the perfect era for it to take place in. I rewatched it a couple of years ago, and I was like, this movie is actually a lot more clever than people give it credit for, because it does have a lot of esoteric early 20th century references. I just said the one thing that would have made this movie better is if Oswald Spengler were in the crew.
That would be hilarious. But then, of course,
it is a good movie. It's underrated. This is an underrated movie.
Yeah, but then, of course, they're like, oh, Germans are the bad guys at the end.
Oh, yeah, no, because in the end, what was it? The plan was to kidnap the crystal and sell it to the Kaiser?
Supposedly.
Based?
Yeah, based.
Or the bad guys wanted to sell it to help, yeah. But then it had the stormtroopers.
Yeah, they literally have the stormtroopers.
The idea that the Kaiser's Germany was this unique. It's only been done a few times where they're depicted as the absolute villain, but even Battlefield 1, where there's literally in Battlefield 5, for example, they had a Nazi perspective, but they couldn't even get Central Powers, and they're not even literally Hitler, right? So the German hate for World War I is just overhyped in pop culture, man.
Mm-hmm. I also thought this was a miscegenation of the cast, because it's literally this bourgeois intellectual somehow lands the princess and miscegenates between the cast.
Well, does it even matter at that point, because they're so stuck. Atlantis is a totally different civilization with different rules that's stuck in the past. Doesn't even translate at that point. Doesn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's be honest. A average Westerner, if he were to come to a random tribe in those Indian islands that are he would literally be a god king amongst them, and would miscegenation of the cast. No, yeah, he's basically a god king.
Yeah, but Atlantis is still the peak civilization,
But not anymore. The whole point is it's a dead civilization.
Yeah.
In its death row. Did you know they were going to make an Atlantis: The Lost Empire TV show that was canceled? They only ever produced 3 episodes. But those episodes are available to watch. It was called Team Atlantis, and the entire premise was them going to different cultures during the World War I era, and there was a different mystery associated with each culture. There was an episode
they would let me guess, they would fight the Kaiser who was trying to.
No. They would just solve there was one episode or something was about them going to Ireland and learn the Kraken and stuff. And then there was
under British occupation.
And then there was another episode where they go to the American Southwest, and there's this Indian guy and then they discover like Hopi tombs, and then there's like these Indian ghosts.
So it's basically
Winnebago
like a
things.
kid's version of Uncharted games,
I
where it's like
guess.
a culture with an ancient mystery being played around. Honestly, that would
No,
actually
no,
be
then
kind
no,
of
no.
cool.
In the third, and then the third and final episode they made, because they only did 3, and one of them they just fight Thor.
That is actually kind of cool, straight up.
No, but they had it, but like no, there were like 3 episodes that were made, but then the movie underperformed, and and then they ended up releasing the 3 episodes on video. They're like, fuck it, we're just gonna release these 3 episodes of this unaired show on video.
Like the idea of creating a animated series to follow a film is usually a bad idea anyway. But
this would have been
I
a good
mean,
concept.
no,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
have
yeah,
watched. I would
right.
have loved this as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay kind of movie, I guess. So what'll it
Yeah.
be?
Okay. Yeah, we're skipping all these trash.
No, let's do Home on the
they're
Range.
Monster
Let's
Inc.
do Home on the Range.
No.
We're going to Monsters Inc. Opinions. I already gave mine like the other day.
Yeah, I guess sort of yeah, so you have the actually no, wait. Because it's literally a monster basically kind of but actually so scaring children. I mean, it's an interesting, I don't even know, because if you think about Monsters Inc., it's an interesting concept. Oh, what if the monster under the bed, what if that was literally an industry? So instead of the enemy being the monster, it's a heartless corporate machine, which I guess is realistic. But yeah, I just don't know what to make of the film thematically. I mean, it's just kind of a mixed bag.
Like there was a funny meme I saw on Twitter. It was Mr. Waternoose saying, "I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die." But the thing is, it was tinged. No, it was tinged, and so there was like it was basically in the upper left corner, it was a gold triangle. Bottom right, it was a dark triangle. So it was the ANCAP flag. But it was Mr. Waternoose saying, "I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die."
oh, that's good. Oh, that's funny. Oh man.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much said it was like soulless corporatocracy, literally wanting to scare and even willing to kill children for profit.
Snow Dogs, I remember that. Where it turns out his father is white and they have talking dogs. That's all I remember. And had Cuba Gooding Jr., who inherited dogs.
Peter Pan 2.
Peter Pan 2. That's the one I was telling you about, the Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I think
ever
we already
saw
kind
this
of.
one.
Yeah, we
So-
talked
I
about
think
that one.
I think I did, but
It was his bitchy daughter, like Wendy's annoying daughter, or something,
Yeah.
and it's during World War II.
mhm.
Disney, like this era of Disney doing sequels, were always ass every single time.
The crazy thing is, so this is like comparatively speaking, this was like one of the sequels that went directly to theaters, so it wasn't as bad.
Hmm.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it was passable.
Okay. Hmm. Oh yeah, and I forgot it was Captain Hook that captured the kids. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. But yeah, let's Lilo and Stitch is next.
Yeah, no, I like this movie. I remember, I think I saw it most recently, like with my ex-girlfriend or some shit. But yeah, no, so you have the aliens. You're made for a monster. You were made for this purpose to do bad, but you don't need to do that. I don't know, kind of. I mean, it's overdone these days, but it is, kind of essentially almost Christian in a way. So I can't counter signal it. I would just, and actually, they kind of play up the humor too with the
the like intergalactic Federation bureaucracy shit. That was funny too.
And yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So it also shows. So Lilo in one of the scenes is like at her bed praying to God and says, "Please send me a friend." And at that moment, Stitch comes down. So it's like God literally sent Stitch to her.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
so
and Stitch is
God-
literally rebelling against space UN.
Yeah.
So yes, so
That's
yes,
literally what it is.
so
It's a space UN.
so yeah, man. So God intervened and struck a blow through the the golden heart of a troublesome little girl to fight against the shitanic intergalactic bureaucracy. So I mean, based co-sign this film. Yes.
I also love Cobra Bubbles. This the guy who pretends to be a social worker, but it turns out he's part of it. He's like a CIA agent.
Oh yeah, that was funny. He was probably like one of the better characters because like he shows up and he's like, things are going to be changing around here. It's very like ominous and mean-eyed.
No,
I assumed he was like a criminal or like a gangster or something, and he became a social worker or something.
No,
but then it was a good play. It was a very good character, good review.
No, but the thing is, it was a consistently good franchise too because they had a TV show that was pretty good. They had a couple sequels, like there was a Lilo and Stitch 2, a Stitch the movie, and Leroy and Stitch, which was like the finale to the series. And it was all consistent. It all felt like it was part of the same series. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, so yes, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good feel-good movie, especially because I was born in Hawaii, so there's a little nostalgia there.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here, foreign blood.
It's also Hawaiians wanting their independence.
Well, I'm not Hawaii. I'm not native Hawaiian.
I know.
My dad was stationed at Pearl Harbor, so
yeah.
There was a Jungle Book too.
Yeah, there was apparently.
I think I vaguely remember it.
Oh yeah, I watched it too, but I don't really remember much of it.
Treasure Planet's good.
Yeah. Do you want to cover that?
I mean, yeah.
My God, we're coming up on 3 hours, man.
I know. That's why I'm asking if you want to cover it or not.
Do you want to continue? Maybe we can do final part 3.
Yeah. How about we do Treasure Planet and then we wrap it up?
Yeah, Treasure Planet, Alien. Oh my God, I'm free. I want to do my riding on my speeder, Mom. Oh no, you can't. You're in trouble with the law. Oh my God, a spaceship crashes and there's a treasure map and adventure. Oh my God. And then, oh my God, y'all are still going. Goddamn, yes, Tradrator, we are still going. Eat my shorts, you little piece of shit. But yeah, so it's a nice coming of age. Nothing really I have to say about it.
I think it was my favorite movie when I was like 6 or 7, to the point where I was obsessed with it, like unhealthily. But so the thing is, it is a good coming of age story. It's about I like the relationship between Silver and Jim. It's a good father, like he's his father figure. Everyone needs a father figure. Even
and
if
the aesthetic of the Hawaiian one.
It's like even if your father figure is fucked up, you still need a father figure.
No, I do have to disavow the one like female captain who's like a girl boss bitch. Yeah,
well, this is the early 2000s. This is when that trope was still like young and out of like,
yeah, but no.
The robot was kind. I remember the robot being kind of funny. Let's see. And then
I feel like
remember he joins the Navy in the end and becomes a naval officer. The end is like at his promotion ceremony, and
I feel like in a better world without paused, the Disney idea of let's take a story and adapt, take a culture, and let's write a story around that culture and sort of make something like that. In a world without pause and with a world without you could actually have fun with that, where you could actually, but yeah, now we just, so yeah, good movies, but
I remember seeing this in the theaters on New Year's Eve, 2002.
Yeah, I actually never watched it, so
You'd like it. You would like it, I think.
Yeah. All right then. Well, I would actually say that this has been more insightful than part one. Not to throw shade at the other panelists, like they did a great job too. But honestly, like Polograd, yes, your film lore did actually give a lot of life to this. But yeah, if we want to continue on to part 3 tomorrow night, keep an eye out for that.
I'm on I'm on Yiz's stream from 6 to like 7:30. So
what'll it be? We go right back to VC after this, or what?
Yeah.
You fools got to sleep, or
yeah, we can go to VC for a little bit after this, but yeah. So to the audience, thank you for lasting this long. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. But we will be coming back for part 3 then. With the
oh
same panel.
no, Praxis had a good time with his parasocial relations.
I've talked to Praxis a lot. He's actually a pretty cool guy. And also check out his channel too. They could use some more subs. Yeah, so thanks to my panel for coming on. And
Another dissident right person on the internet has a small channel that needs more support. My surprise.
Guys, everybody subscribe to the Politicrat, everybody. Be sure to.
Yep. Do your shillings, everyone.
Send me shekels. Don't send Settler Lament. Send me shekels if you have to choose between me and Settler's Lament.
Yes, the war of
no, I like Settler though. We make fun of him because he admits to being a grifter at this point.
Yeah, I don't even ask for shekels. Like, please check out my Substack though. Like, it's in the description. I just started one with my first article the other day. So, yeah, and I hopefully will have time to make more. But yeah, so again, thanks to my panel. Thanks for the audience for staying this long. Part 3 tomorrow. I think honestly, like after Yiz's stream should work if you want to come on Polograd.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, okay. So I still don't really have a good ending for streams, but good night, folks.
Yabba dabba doo.
Yabba dabba don't.
Okay.